morning, football fans! Well, look who's back, y'all. And my voice is back, finally. Hey, what's going on, y'all? I hope you're ready. We had a great AFC week last week. And here we are, bringing it right on back with NFC week right here on 3 and Out, 8 Division A days. Thank you all so much for joining me here this morning. We're going to have a party. Oh, yes. We have ourselves a good one, another great one planned out for y'all. 16 teams down, 16 teams to go. Today, we are dipping in to the NFC West. Starting off the week, we're talking Los Angeles Rams, Arizona Cardinals, Seattle Seahawks, and of course, the defending NFC champions, the San Francisco 49ers. Oh yes, we're going to have ourselves a ball today. Definitely got to say, gigantic thanks to everybody who tuned in last week. And it's going to be another great week here as we take it right on into kickoff on Thursday. No, both kickoff teams are not in the NFC. They're not. We're going to end with the NFC North. But this has been great for last year because it was the NFC that started off Bears and Packers for the 100th season. This time we have two teams, one from the AFC West and one from the AFC South. And we're going to end with the NFC North. It's all good. This is how it ended up. It's all good. But today we'll talk, will these Cardinals actually get out of the shadow? They have some moving pieces now that are pretty legit. Will the Seahawks be the threat they have been in years? And if they are, how deep of a run can they really make? Are those Niners going to go again and go back-to-back to the NFC Championship? Could they get back? They are still a very potent team. And can the Rams get back on track after being in a good position just a few years back? I hope you're ready to rock and roll. You are now tuned in live to 3 and Out, 8 Division A days, NFC West Day, right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. Welcome, football fans. Well, here we go. Man, what a great week it was last week. I'll tell you right now, that was a lot of fun. To everybody who tuned in last week, and to everybody who tuned in, to everybody who was a part of it, it was a lot of fun. Really appreciate all of you and couldn't thank you enough for being a part of it. That was really, really cool. We had a really good AFC week. We had a fan for every team. Though one was just reading notes. It's all good. Mr. Chris Blackie was in the clutch last week on Tuesday. As Pete couldn't make it, so we had our Patriots fan. I just had to read what he said, his responses, but it's all good. We had good stuff there. We had a great show. We had all 16 fans. We had 15 live and one from just reading his notes. And, well, here we are today, and we're jumping right back into it. We are going to get ready to start things off. As a matter of fact, we'll take ourselves a short break, and we're going to get right to the Los Angeles Rams. But I just got to say, gigantic shout-out and thank you, of course, to Mr. Matthew Owens and Mr. Seth Eves. Awesome show, as always, gentlemen, on the Sports Brunch. Can we get a hand clap real quick? They always do such a great job, man, so it's awesome to be honored. It's awesome, and I'm honored to follow up with their show, the Sports Brunch. So, gotta say what's up to Terry in the chat room. Yeah, brother, the voice is back, man. I feel a lot better. So, thanks a lot, brother. Yeah, things are going real well, man. So, man, here we go. Another great day, another great week, and we're starting things off once again with the NFC West. Rams football coming your way right after this. You're listening to 3 and Out, 8 Divisions in 8 days, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy, awesome white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Here to tell you about the newest IE Sports Radio show, the Kansas City Shuffle. We'll be talking football, reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, baseball, your 2015 World Series Royals, college hoops, college football, and much to Ryan's delight, hockey.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you catch up with us on Twitter at KC Shuffle Show. You can also catch up with my colleague Ryan the Pez Choir at the Pez Choir Fool
on Twitter.
Make sure you check us out on IE Sports Radio at 6 p.m. Central Time to 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan, any final words for the listeners?
Yeah, come on in, enjoy the winning we've been having here in Kansas City lately, and don't be jealous. Bye-bye.
IE Sports Radio,
your direct feed for all things sports. Nope, that's not it. Cut that.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
That's right. Right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming a first-timer here today. I told you we're coming back with some Rams football. We are starting things off in the NFC West. And here we go. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming here for his very first time here on IE Sports Radio, here on 3 and Out and on IE Sports Radio. He's been in my fantasy league for a couple of years, and I've never even talked to him in ever, so it's pretty cool that I talked to him. But, ladies and gentlemen, glad to have him here once again for his very first time to talk about his beloved Los Angeles Rams. Welcoming diehard Rams fan all the way from Southern California, which is literally right here next to me. It's pretty sweet. Well, where I am, but he's not too far from me, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Mr. Eric Palaio. What's going on, Eric? How you doing today, brother?
How's it going, guys?
Hey, man. Glad to have you on the show, man.
Glad to be here, bud.
Hey, buddy. That's awesome, but glad to have you, man. So first things first, since you are a newcomer, of course, you gotta, you don't have to necessarily explain your fandom, but of course, it's always fun to ask, how did you become such a diehard Rams fan?
Well, first time I turned on TV and I saw football was the Showtime Rams. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Hall, Kurt Warner, Marshall Falk, Showtime, just all offense, all the way, all day. That was my first experience with football, and I loved it. So ever since then, I've been following them.
Hey, you know what, man? That's about as good as it could ever be. I mean, I'm a Raider because my pops. So it's like, that's the same thing here. I grew up watching Raider football, so it's like at the end of the day, man, it's just that awesome nostalgic feeling. And you grew up watching. That's awesome, man. You got to see the greatest show on turf, and what a great team, one of the greatest teams I think to ever have been put together. So that's awesome, man. You guys are really, you guys have that to say. So now you're back in LA. How was it, man, when you found out the Rams are coming back to LA?
I was actually kind of sad. I mean, I kind of didn't like the idea for the reason of a lot of bandwagon fans. Kind of same thing with the Raiders thing. A lot of bandwagon, a lot of people follow them, and you try to talk football with them. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what they're talking about. They just rep the colors and stuff. Absolutely. But, I mean, the fact that they're here local is great. I go watch them. But then you have to deal with more nonsense as well. So it's give or take.
That makes sense, man. I feel you. It's something. I mean, it's crazy. I had to, for a little bit, it's like you have to have your little swear jar here on the show when you say St. Louis Rams or San Diego Chargers or now even Oakland Raiders. You know what I mean? like, whoops, gotta remember they're not there no more. So, yeah, man, but that's cool. You know what? And you're right. But at the end of the day, man, bandwagon fans will always come. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I don't think diehards can actually be considered bandwagon fans. But, hey, I could consider myself a bandwagon fan with, USC when they were kicking tail, man, in the early 2000s. I was in high school, and it's like, well, yeah, I didn't even know college football that much, so it's like I started watching them. But the same as that time, it's like, yeah, I became a fan, but they were also right here in Southern California. You know what I mean? So it's like, what do you really call it? Do you call it a bandwagon, or do you call it just the team that you rep because they're really good at that same exact time, but also it's a team that's that's where you grew up. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah. So I got you.
What was that?
Yeah, no, I got you. It's hard to say. I mean, the older crowd. I'm talking about the older crowd that doesn't know nothing about football. Just wants to say Rams because they grew up in that era and stuff. That's what I'm trying to relate to.
Yeah, exactly, man. So, first things first, brother, let's jump on in here to last season. So, last year, not the best year for the Rams, man, but go ahead and talk us through it, man. Every raw emotion you can think of, man. Just go ahead and sum up the season in however you want to sum it up.
Disappointment. I mean, it's all downhill. It all started off with a big contract to Gurley that didn't work out with his knee going out. Our O-line couldn't hold nothing up, so we had no time for Goff to throw the football. It was disastrous every way. McVay wasn't the mastermind he was his first year, so it made it difficult to say. I was expecting a way better year, especially from going to the Super Bowl. But it wasn't the greatest. We lost my favorite player, who was Cooper Kupp. He's out again, so it didn't really help. And our running back situation got worse by the season.
Yeah, it's definitely not the easiest thing, man, when you can watch your team just kind of wither away because of injuries. And yeah, man, the injury bug sucks, but it's one of those things, I guess. But regardless, man, you guys, in the last couple of years had some good success. But realistically, man, let's go ahead and kind of just bring that in. I mean, the last couple of years as a Rams fan, you guys were going pretty deep, man. Then, of course, you guys get all the way to the bowl. I mean, how was it these last couple of years? How much of a roller coaster has it really been?
Well, it's been great. I mean, you always want to see your team win. So when you're winning, you're happy. I mean, who hates to lose, obviously. But it's been a lot of, even when the Rams made it, it's been a lot of luck, honestly. A lot of blown calls,
Yeah.
Missed field goals. And me being a fan, I accept reality and stuff. But, we got a lot of help as well. But, I mean, I'm glad we did, don't get me wrong. But we're still, more than a few pieces away from winning it all.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I mean, now he's got to ask you guys were literally just in Super Bowl a couple years ago, man. How was that game? I mean, it was, in my opinion, that was one of my favorite Super Bowls. Of course, it was going to be inevitable. I wear 53. That's my number. I love that number. And of course, Super Bowl 53 was just a game that I was going to love no matter what because it's the number. But it really was a really great game, in my opinion. Some people call it lame because some people just like basketball for some reason on the turf. I love basketball too, but I prefer that on the hardwood. Anybody that knows me here, especially on the show, knows that I cannot stand high-scoring football games. It's like, where's the defense? I'm a defensive guy. Go figure. I love me some good defense. I love a nasty, hardcore, freaking 3-0 kind of game with a field goal. I mean, I'm actually 2-0. One safety is that's it, man. So I love me some good defense, man. And I can't stand touchdowns. The only time I like it is when my team scores, and that's about it. Other than that, I like watching football, and then a few touchdowns here and there are fun. But yeah, well, it was a great game, 13-3, and a lot of people were like, whatever about it, but I really enjoyed the game. It showed how strong our guys' defense was, and you guys were just not all the way there on offense against the Patriots. Pretty strong defense at the time. I mean, how was that game, man? I mean, and then afterwards, the effects. I mean, do you guys feel like you guys are far away from that same exact team? Do you think you can rebuild it within the coming years to be that strong again? Or maybe even this season? And if so, how far away do you feel that team is from getting back?
Sure. For the Super Bowl, defense was great, but we made a lot of mistakes on offense. It was a good game, but, if we would have made those mistakes, it would have been a lot different game. It was really like the fourth quarter when they pulled away. So,
yeah.
It was tough. But, I mean, we lost a lot of key pieces. So, I mean, Gurley was a key piece. He was a workhorse. He's gone. Now we have 3 rookies. That's a big loss. Other big thing is Cooper Kupp's got to stay healthy. He can't seem to stay healthy year in, year out. We lost Brandon Cooks. So we need to work on our O-line. That's our biggest thing, our O-line. So we're more than a few pieces away. We lost a lot of pieces, and our drafting hasn't really been good.
Yeah, it really hasn't been all that great, man. But by the way, Taryn in the chat room, Taryn Rodriguez, he is a big Chargers fan, but his brother is actually a big Rams fan. He says, the sports brunch, the most unpredictable hour of sports, and they really are. Once again, big shout out to Mr. Matthew Owens and Seth Eves, the show that I follow here. Well, at least I follow right now, because 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, starts at 9 a.m. They start at 8 a.m. So we have here, Taryn says, Stan Kroenke really did the city of St. Louis dirty. Just like how Dean Spanos did San Diego dirty. There's no doubt about Spanos. But yeah, kind of sad. I didn't even know that was his name, but for the Rams. And he says, had the new wild card rule come into effect last year, the Rams would have made the playoffs. I still give the Rams a good shot this year, but their future in terms of cap space leaves a lot to be desired. What do you got to say about that, Eric?
Yeah, a lot of things didn't work out for cap space. They got rid of Gurley, which is going to help us in about 2-3 years. They got rid of Brayden Cooks, which is another casualty, cap casualty, another 2 years. So, I mean, another year or 2, we should be ready to bounce back. Have some, draft some players. But the biggest thing this year, we got to sign Jones, our safety. And that's pretty much the only thing I want signed at this point right now.
All right.
we'll see how it goes. Because like I said, our management isn't doing the best job, but we'll see. Maybe they'll come around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Did you catch any? I only caught one episode because I guess this year's has been such a weird year. And every year I watched it a lot when I was a little bit younger, but now I got a lot more to do and everything. But did you catch any Hard Knocks this year, man?
Any what was that?
Any Hard Knocks?
Hard Knocks, I have not, no.
No, okay, yeah, I was Rams and Chargers this year during COVID, and I don't know. I thought it was... It's hard to catch, it really is, because I just can't remind myself, and I was doing a lot, and, I can't remind myself of it all the time, and I'll catch here and there whenever I can catch it. But anyway, man, so into the offseason, you guys were pretty interesting. You guys, of course, let Brandon Cooks walk. He's a Texan now. You guys, of course, let Todd Gurley walk. He's a Falcon. And Dante Fowler Jr. walk. He's also a Falcon. You guys will resign the mighty veteran of Andrew Whitworth at left tackle. That's a big piece. Malcolm Brockers will also return. You guys will let go of Mikael Roby Coleman to the Eagles. That was, I think, a pretty big departure for you guys because he was a pretty big piece, at least in my opinion. Leonard Floyd, however, will come on over from the Bears. You guys will, let's see here, have Greg Zuerlein, your kicker, will actually head on over to the Cowboys. Corey Littleton will be going to Vegas to play for my boys, man, for the Raiders. You guys one of your guys' linebackers, inside linebackers. Justin Hollins will come over from the Broncos to the Rams. You guys have JoJo Natson heading on over to the Browns here. So it's like you guys have had a lot of key departures and pickups. But other than that, man, I didn't name any all of them, but you can go ahead and name more if you'd like. But go ahead, man, walk us through free agency this year for you, and who do you think were the biggest departures and biggest pickups?
I think our biggest loss was Corey Littleton, linebacker. He stepped in big. Greg the Leg, he was a great kicker, but he was getting up in age, so he's not that great of a loss. But what really hurts us is we haven't found no one to cover him yet. But no one's taking the spot, so that's what's really killing us at this point. We've got, I think, through the CFL kickers right now. Fowler was definitely another big loss. But we got Floyd to cover him, so it helps it a lot. But Fowler was another big loss. But we're slowly working on it. The other things we have, the other players we let go aren't that bad. They're replaceable. Just our biggest casualties that I really believe were Fowler and Littleton. Those are the two biggest losses we took, and we got Floyd, and we need to get someone else to replace him.
Well, you guys, man, it was a tough go. You guys, it was really cool you guys signed Clay Matthews, but what happened, dude? Is he resigned, or what happened to Clay Matthews? I don't know where he is.
Last I heard was he was hurt, and I think he was signed by retirement.
Oh, man. Yeah, because it says here that he didn't resign, or that he did. I guess he doesn't have a team, so... Dude, that's crazy, man. But we all know, man, and in my opinion, that's a very successful career. Dude, you know how it goes, man. The NFL is very easy. Well, not very easy, but the NFL it's simple because it's what we call it is not for long. It's not the NFL. It's not National Football League. It's not for long is what it stands for. And would you agree with that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Defensive players, you got a lot of issues. You're always hitting hard, especially a linebacker at that. So I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and if that's it, man, we bid him adieu, and definitely great career, man. Great guy coming out of USC and just doing his thing. But yeah, we'll see what happens to Clay Matthews. But coming up, man, so let's go ahead and get into this draft real quick. You did not have a first-round draft pick. However, into the second round, you guys have Cam Akers coming on out of Florida State. Big-time running back. And this guy, I think, was a steal in the second round. Really good job there picking him up. We have in the second round, Van Jefferson, wide receiver out of Florida. In the third round here, we have Terrell Lewis, outside linebacker out of Alabama. There you go. Could be a replacement. Maybe not. But, hey, guys can come out of any round and be stars. But big-time pickup there. Terrell Burgess, safety out of Utah. Another piece for that defense. Next up in the sixth round, we have here Jordan Fuller, safety out of Ohio. Yet another player for that secondary. And then in the seventh round, we have Clay Johnson, inside linebacker out of Baylor. Sam Sloman, kicker out of Miami of Ohio. And Tremaine Ankrum, I believe, I don't want to butcher his name, but guard out of Clemson, a guy, a team that knows how to win some national championships in college. Definitely has added some more beef to the offensive line. Go ahead, man, tell us about what you've heard in camp so far, what you've read, or what you've seen. Due to social media and articles and all that good stuff, man. What have you seen so far from these rookies, and who do you think can come in and make the biggest impact?
Well, the crazy part is here, I'm not really big into college, so I'm more of an NFL guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I really don't know much about them. So I judge basically based on the position the Rams needed.
Mm-hmm.
So based on positions they needed, they actually did pretty good. They played a couple holes. I did see YouTube highlights of Cam Akers. I liked his speed. He's good, but I mean, like any good running back, they need time to develop.
Right.
So, I mean, we can't get off the bat and expect him to come in and, give us 80, 90 yards per game.
And that's fair. That's fair. I mean, but then again, I mean, how confident are you guys right now in that offensive line? Or are you, that is?
No, not that much. I mean, based on what we saw last year, and we made really no big moves to help us on the offensive line. I mean, you said we reset Whitworth, but he's 40 plus. So I mean, how long is he going to stay healthy for?
No, that's very true, and to me it's just a rough go right now. I mean, to think, man, you guys were on top of the world like a couple of years ago, but I guess that's just the NFL. But man, I think you guys did the best. I think you guys did the best of what you could make in the draft for not having a first round and the whole bit. I mean, do you think you guys made like at least good enough picks in your opinion?
In my opinion, like I said, I don't follow college, but based on what we need, I mean, I knew we need a secondary, we need running backs, we need receivers. So, I mean, we picked all that up. Now it's the performance of the rookie that's going to, determine how good the draft was.
Right. Well, there you have it, man. So, with that said, man, let's go ahead and roll on in to this season. So, talk about this season, man. What are you expecting from the Rams this year? What does it look like to you? I mean, do you want to have however you want to do it, man? Do you want to bring in a realistic view? Do you want to bring in, I like to call it the blinders with the fan view. I mean, however it is, man. I mean, the Rams could be really good this year. I mean, however it is, man, with the new stadium and everything, you and the Chargers sharing it, SoFi Stadium opening up. I mean, regardless, man, what do you think this year that the Rams are capable of doing? And what's a good place that you would like to put them in the NFC West?
The Rams are in a very tough division right now. I mean, the Cardinals made a lot of key acquisitions, top team. The Seahawks every year, Super Bowl contenders every year. So, I mean, you have a lot of good teams out there that they're going against. I mean, realistically, though, every time they play, it's a rivalry, so they're close games. So I honestly see the Rams going, 9-7, 8-8. And depending on the other teams, they might be able to sneak into a wild card. But it really depends on the other teams.
No, I agree. You guys, man, just it's crazy to think, like, I'm telling you, once again, how tough this team was a couple years ago. And by the way, we have Taryn back in the chat room here. Let's go ahead and take a look. And, we got Adam Karnick as well. We'll be talking his Bears coming up on Thursday, the final day of NFC week and the final day of 8 divisions in 8 days, when we talk about the NFC North on Thursday. But we have Taryn here saying Seattle might be thinking of signing Clay Matthews, and that would actually be a pretty cool pickup there. But once again, I mean, if he's, he has had a pretty good lengthy career, and we look at guys like Luke Kuechly, who just, he's had to call it a career. I mean, his body's just too beat up. Guys like Patrick Willis, I know you remember who that is, Eric, playing for the Niners. I mean, he called it a career like 30. I mean, he made his money, he had his time, and he just didn't want to get hurt. He didn't want to get out there and risk his health any further and tear himself down when he's 40, be all beat up. I mean, I don't know. It's just, I get it. So, Terrence says Super Bowl hangover was a thing. Absolutely. And it is a thing. And then Adam says, gonna be a tough division this year, and exactly as you said, Eric. So, with that said, man, let's have a little bit of fun here. And, I mean, we've already been having fun this whole time, but let's go ahead, man, and go ahead and get into a little segment we like to call Stick It To 'Em, man. We're at the end of the division, we're at the end of the segment here, so let's go ahead and give you a hand clap, man. Give you applause. Thank you, man, Mr. Eric Palaio, for joining us today, man, talking some Rams football, but we are not finished yet. Let's have a little segment once again, let's call Stick It To 'Em, where you, a Rams fan in the NFC West, don't necessarily care for 3 other teams in your division. So, you can either be respectful, you can be mean, however you want to do it, man. But let us know how you think the other 3 teams will be doing in the division this year. Without further ado, Eric, stick it to them.
All right, sorry, guys. Cardinals, Seahawks, the rest of the division. Sorry you guys spent all that money just to lose.
Damn. Like that, huh?
It's like that. No other way, baby.
Damn. All right. I mean, I was expecting some more, but you just dropped the mic, man. That was. He said, "Sorry, you spent all that money." Oh man, well, hey, you know what, man? So, what do you think, man? Realistically, where do you think the Rams are going to be this year in the NFC West?
Third.
Third. Alrighty. Well, hey, man, you know what? That's good enough for me. I know you guys are definitely a good, strong team. But regardless, it's just there are two teams in this division right now who are, I think, is a little bit stronger, a little bit tougher. But regardless, man, anything could happen. And gosh dang it, man. I mean, you guys just happen to, I don't know, you guys have a young coach in McVay. You know, you guys have, in my opinion, a lot going your guys' way. So regardless, I mean, well, maybe not like everything, but I'm saying, I just feel like you guys have moving pieces going on, and you know, okay, maybe I'll scratch that. Not everything's going your way, but I just feel like you guys have a lot of room to grow. And overall, you know what, man, the defense is still pretty potent. You still have Donald. I mean, there's still a lot there to build on. So realistically, man, I feel like the Rams can definitely be still be a team to beat in the NFC, and also could be in the next maybe year to 2 years, maybe be back to where they were. I mean, do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah, because we're going to get all the cap space back from Gurley, from Braden Cooks. So we're going to get a lot of money, and a lot of big-time players are going to want to come to a big city like L.A. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I have no doubt about that.
Absolutely, man. Well, if that's the case, brother, and we are all done, man. So with that said, brother, where can all these diehard Rams find you on any social media you want them to find you on? I know you're not on Twitter. Maybe you are, I don't know. But I know you're on Facebook. You're in our league. But dude, let us know, man. Where can all these diehard fans, Rams fans, find you if you'd like to share any of your social media? And if not, any last word for the Rams fans out there, man?
Oh, that's right, man. Hang in there. We're going to get it done. I mean, we're in a tough division. So you give us some time. Let us get our money back from our Gurley and Braden Cooks, and we'll be just fine. You know, no team has been in LA and sucked forever. Look at the Clippers.
Oh, it's cold-blooded, man. But hey, man, I'm a Laker fan myself, just like you, I think, right? Lake Show, baby. That's right, Lake Show. But anyway, man, thanks again, man. Thanks again for joining us here today, Eric. It's been a great conversation, man, and thanks again for talking some of those Rams football, man. That was a lot of fun. I appreciate you stopping by.
All right, man. See you around.
Take care, man. God bless.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Once again, that was Mr. Eric Pelayo. Cool guy, man. That's the first time I've talked to him. He's been in our league, in our fantasy football league for a couple of years, but cool guy. But yes, right, man. Taryn in the chat room says, Lake Show. That's right, y'all. But with that said, we're taking us on a short break. When we get back, we're going right into those Arizona Cardinals. You're listening to 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days. NFC West, right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports.
Welcome in to the Neutral Zone. I'm your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and you're listening to IE Sports Radio. If you like big, nasty hits, if you like slap shots straight to the neck, if you like it when the gloves hit the ice and the big boys get down, then this is your show. On IE Sports Radio, this is the Neutral Zone. May our shots on goal always be true and straight to the net. If they are not, may they be followed up, redirected, or change collected. Let's go on IE Sports Radio with me, your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and this is the Neutral Zone.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out The Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, wouldn't you know that right when we come back from break, we get our phone call. That was pretty cool. That was perfect timing. I mean, seriously, what can I say? Ladies and gentlemen, she is in our PR department. And she knows a thing or two about perfect timing, I guess. I mean, that was really, really cool. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I just happened to time it right at the end of the commercial. I was going to run one more, but she called right then, so I figured we'll jump right on into it. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we got one team down in the NFC West here today. And, well, we're right on to the next as we get ready to talk about the Red Sea. Be Red Sea Red, which I really liked that hashtag way better. Like, I really did. Red Sea is cool, but Be Red Sea Red is just something that's really neat. That was cool. I mean, I don't know what to say. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, with that said, welcoming back for her, oh my gosh, like millionth and 25th time. I'm so glad to have her here on this show. She's absolutely incredible. She's on this segment she's been on this segment, I think, for the last 3 or 4 years, talking Cardinals football. And every year, I love how hopeful she is, and yet how realistic she is. And it just always seems like no matter what, it's like, I'm telling y'all, this is just the home for true diehards. I can't help it, to say that. Sorry, but I know there's other diehards out there with sports, but man, the diehards that come on this show are just awesome. And well, she's one of them. She's such a diehard that we had to bring her onto the iSports Radio family, and she's been amazing ever since. Well, doing her thing. She's been amazing before that, coming on the show and doing her thing. Back on the days where we used to I didn't even do the phone calls, y'all. It was just me reading notes from responses from what people would say when I would send them some questions and they would respond. And well, Angela, I would read a lot of her stuff. But ladies and gentlemen, glad to have her back here on the show. We'll have her back for some primetime face-offs this year. Hopefully the Cardinals are back in primetime. I think they are. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcoming, she is agent of our PR department, member of our PR department, and just awesome all-around person. Die-hard Cardinals fan, repping all the way from North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming the one, the only, Miss Angela Winstead. What's going on, Angela? How you doing this afternoon?
Hello. I'm doing good, actually. How are you doing, Larry?
That is great to hear. I am doing great. I'm doing my best. Thank you very much. And just getting ready here to enjoy another great interview, of course, here on the network, and of course with you, because you're always a blast. You always have some funny crap to say at some point. So, I mean, and it's usually just, it's very realistic. It's just funny because it's like you get on your team like how I get on my Raiders, and this is all there is to it. But with that said, Angela, how have you been?
I've been good. Kind of busy. Started going back to school again, so kind of got myself busy with life, but I'm doing good. I'm ready for some football, actually. I am missing college football right now. I'm missing going to games and tailgating, and I miss the camaraderie of football in general.
I feel you. I am totally with you. I feel like, seriously, no football sucks. And right now, college football, and I guess we're getting whatever we can get at the moment. It's not like, I guess we're settling for, we're just settling. That's all there is to it. I can't even relate to anything. We can't.
Oh, absolutely.
We're getting some kind of college football. I mean, it's not like it's the worst, but at the same time, it sucks. It's it's not the full effect. It's we're just getting it's crazy to think that last week was Memphis and Arkansas State. That was Saturday Night Football. You know what I mean? Not saying anything bad about the teams or anything. I'm just saying I love Memphis and they're really cool uniforms, as I always say. But it's man, and of course they are a ranked team, but Arkansas State, no offense against them, no offense to them, but it's we're going to be getting those a lot this year. I mean, we're going to be getting these games that are in prime time, these games that are being shown, these games that are the big games of the week that are games that wouldn't even normally be anywhere of this magnitude,
Right. Well, ECU was supposed to open up their schedule with Marshall on August 30th, and it was supposed to be the only game on August, or that weekend, 30, 31st, whatever that was. And so we were hoping, we'd have, obviously it's ECU, we're hoping for a long shot here. But we were hoping to have college game day or something, because it's a memorable game, ECU and Marshall. If you go back to the history of it, it's a very memorable game anytime Marshall comes to ECU to play. And this was I forgot what year, one of the year anniversaries of the Marshall plane crash and things like that. And so it was supposed to be really memorable. Then the game gets pushed back to September the 12th, and it's well, dag, and now we're not having it at all. They've canceled the game. And so ECU doesn't start until the 26th against UCF at home and no fans in the stands. It's come on now. I get it. There's that health of everybody, and being somebody susceptible to this, I understand, but it's I miss the camaraderie. I miss the tailgates. I miss what college football and then NFL Sundays.
It's I'm with you. Angela. I'm totally with you. What was that last part?
I just said I miss it. Sorry, I dropped my phone.
Oh, you're good. No, I'm with you. I am totally with you. I miss it too. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we're not even playing our season right now, semi-pro, and it's I would be missing some college football regardless, and I would catch highlights and the games before we would play, or if we're playing a morning game, I'd watch the games in the afternoon or late that night, or at night, later on at night, or whatever it is. But man, no football, and here we are now going, well, I guess we get no college football. We don't get anything. And, I mean, we get something, but it's man, we don't get the full effect of it, and this is kind of weird. It's like the NCAA kind of turned into the NFL with less teams. You know what I mean? But,
right.
It's crazy. It is so crazy. But anyway, with that said, Angela, let's jump into these Cardinals, all right? So first things first, Arizona Cardinals. Let's talk about last season. Give us every raw emotion from last year.
So last year, obviously, I felt with the rebuilding year, of course, we had a rookie coach come in, and it wasn't just we had, a new coach from a different NFL team. This was his first NFL head coaching position. While he's coached college ball, and I feel again, there's a difference between college and NFL. So it was brand new. You had a new head coach. You also come in with a rookie quarterback, and first round draft pick, Kyler Murray. The guy struggled a little bit. He had to try to make it, but once he clicked, he was phenomenal. And towards the end of the season, it really gave me hope of what he can build on for last year, saying next year, being this year right here. So, it was hard. It's always hard being a Cardinals fan. It's always hard being any kind of football fan when your team struggles, and you're oh, man, here we go again. It's another daggone losing season. It's another year of, we're just going to be sitting on the couch watching everybody else, and there's no playoff hopes. There's no even contentions in the division. Like, we're just struggling. And that's how the beginning of last year started off. But I felt like towards the end of the season, our boys started clicking. And, you know, while we may not start winning games, you could definitely tell that we were working better as a team, and it wasn't, you know, the Larry Fitzgerald show, or it wasn't Patrick Peterson out there trying to show what he can do, or Buda Baker out there trying to make a sack, or Chandler Jones. Like, it was the defense working together, the offense working together, you know, and that's what I'm excited for this year. I say that every year, I know, but I really am excited this year having Kyler in. It's the second season. Coach Kay, and it's his second season too, and just kind of seeing what we got going.
I agree. You guys, man. By the way, we have some chatter going on here in the chat room. Adam Karnick is asking, Murray going to be Jackson this year? And then Taryn says, Angela, I have it tough. Angela and I have it tough. Our teams, the Cardinals and Chargers, always disappoint us.
You know what? I feel like, and I've said this before on our PR chat, you know, I feel like the whole PR department, we have the struggle bus of a team, okay? We've got Meg and her Giants. We've got Taryn and his Chargers. You got me and the Cardinals, and then Larry and the Raiders. We are the epitome of the struggle bus, okay?
We're the Fantastic Four, Angela.
Okay, yeah, we're that too. But we're like the struggle bus of NFL teams.
We're the unfantastic Four.
we go good for a minute, and then we run out of gas or something. We're driving down the highway, and then the wheel falls off. You know, like we have it. We have it all. That's funny.
It's true. Our team suck.
I mean, the minute we think one of our teams is doing real good, they come to bite us in the ass. Like, it's just, you know, yeah, like, we got it. And it's like, well, that's typical. There we go. Just blow it.
Man, absolutely. That's awesome. And I think you guys, oh man, this is going to be fun. So Angela, we got you for the next, 30 minutes, 27 minutes here. So let's go ahead and jump on in to some free agency, because man, those Cardinals, like, seriously, you guys had some free agency this year. I can't think of, I'm going to pull it up right now on overthecap.com. I really like this website. I've been using it for the whole Division 8 days already. So okay, so take a look at some of the key departures, some of the key pickups, and even some of the, re-signings you guys had. So, first things first, I think, let's get the elephant, let's address the elephant in the room right now. That is, of course, DeAndre Hopkins coming on over from the Texans to play on the Cardinals. You guys did trade away David Johnson, which you can give me your thoughts on that as well, coming up in a few minutes here. But David Johnson, of course, as we know, going to the Texans. We have Larry Fitzgerald signing to be again on the Cardinals. He is a lifer. He is somebody that I cannot say, and Angela, I'm gonna get you going, I know that, but I cannot say enough great things about Larry Fitzgerald. What a good person, what a great person, and just what a class act, and somebody who's just not gonna leave his team. He is like Kobe Bryant was, just gonna stay. He is a great, in my opinion, Larry Fitzgerald is a Hall of Famer. I don't even care what anybody has to say about that. This man is incredible. He has broken records. He has done amazing things. He's gonna break more records. The guy is just, he's amazing, and he has made a home in Arizona, and he's not going anywhere, and I'm just really glad to see him just be so loyal, and I want to see him win a ring. I'm so bummed that he hasn't, and I don't know if he will. Regardless, though, I just felt like you as a Cardinal fan and the rest of you all in the Red Sea are just you just love him. So I know that. So we had Drake Kirkpatrick also coming on over from the Bengals. Big pickup there. We have Calvin Beecham coming over from the Jets at left tackle. So we have a corner and a left tackle coming over. Not too bad. You guys re-signed Marcus Gilbert. Devon Kennard will come over from the Lions to the Cardinals, the linebacker there. I'm just saying, Jordan Phillips coming over from the Bills. You guys really, not bad. DJ Humphries is staying. Max Garcia staying. Some two big linemen there. We have Brett Hundley at quarterback staying. You guys will lose Rodney Gunter to the Jaguars. Buda Baker will stay. So it's like, there were some more moving pieces. Cassius Marsh was a win because he was pretty darn good, but he heads over to the Jaguars. Zach Kerr, another defensive lineman like Marsh, will head on over to the Panthers. But then still, once again, Chris Banjo staying. Overall, not a bad year. I know I didn't name everybody, but regardless, not bad free agency. And there was a few more transactions, if you will, like Demir Bird, wide receiver, heading over to the Patriots, and Farrell Cooper heading on over to the Panthers. But also Charles Washington staying there. So, once again, a lot of different moving pieces and everything. But regardless, Angela, tell us all about it. Tell us your thoughts on free agency this year. If I didn't mention any that you may want to bring up, let us know your thoughts on free agency.
Yeah, so obviously, as you were saying, the biggest one was the whole DeAndre Hopkins coming from the Texans. Look, we all know Larry Fitzgerald's a great guy, on and off the field, but the guy can't do it all himself. He just signed, he's starting his 17th year with this team. It's hard to believe it's been 17 seasons, especially with one team. You see a lot of guys saying, "Oh, I played 20 seasons," but they may have played 20 seasons with 4 or 5 different teams. This guy has played 17 seasons with one team, the team he was drafted, first round pick. So that means, it's a lot. It means a lot not only to us as Cardinal fans as his dedication to the team, but also what the organization means. Obviously someone's not going to stay around if you've got a crappy organization, if you've got crappy owners, crappy, president, blah, 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 all the way down the line. This guy has made it through from some of the absolute worst of worst to the best of best that our team has put out. So he can't do it alone. Bringing DeAndre Hopkins, I think, was great. I think, you got that combo of Hopkins, Fitz, and then Christian Kirk, and, you've got a great mix of wide receiver. So I'm really excited about that. A little bummed to see David Johnson go, but he was starting to struggle a little bit. I don't feel like, David hit his prime his first 2 seasons, and then he had a couple injuries, and I don't feel like he's really recovered from those injuries. So he hasn't been the best. You will see, we've picked up Chase Edmonds a couple of seasons ago, and Chase was really running the ball. So, he was never really ended up being the starting running back after maybe his 3rd season. He really struggled. So, I wish him well. David and his wife Megan do a lot of great things for the communities, and they're great people. I wish them well in Houston, but it sucks to see him go, but you love to watch him leave, Mm-hmm. We need somebody better. I'm excited about having some O-linemen come in. Obviously Humphrey's just re-signed a contract, and he's been doing great things. I've seen a lot of progression out of him, but we need to protect our quarterback. As you've seen year after year, whether it was with Tom or whether it's now with Kyler, we don't do a good job of protecting our quarterback. It's just been a known fact. And so hopefully, getting a lot of linemen in there, we can really, really do some protection. Kyler's got great feet. He can move. He can run outside. But if he doesn't have the chance, it's not going to work. Losing Rodney Gunter, you mentioned him to the Jags. That was tough. I miss Gunt. He's a great guy. Love watching him on the field. Cassius Marsh was another one. He was a beast. He was like no F's given type of guy. Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where he only played like a season or 2 with us. While he was great, he was here, but I don't feel like he really connected with our team. Again, I hate to see you go, but love to watch you lead type thing. So no, I'm excited on what we've done with free agency. It's been kind of tough watching some of the good guys go, but it's not just a game, it's also a life for them. It's all about money and things somewhere else, then there you go. So, but now I'm excited. I'm excited about free agencies. And so, yeah, I think we've got some really good, great guys that we picked up.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? You're right. Yeah, Cassius Marsh was definitely a big departure. But it's the same deal. You know, you guys had another beast there. Oh, my gosh. Another beast there a few years ago, Calais Campbell. And he went to the Jaguars, and now he's on his way out to the Ravens. So it's like,
yes.
You guys have had some... What was that?
That was a blow. That was a blow. That was one thing I was not expecting us to lose Calais Campbell. But, you know, he's doing good things. He did great things in Jacksonville. And, you know, I'm always going to be a Calais Campbell fan. I've met his mom, and I've talked to her a lot. And so, you know, I'm always going to have a special place in my heart for Calais, no matter where he goes. So even if he becomes a Seahawk or a Patriot or, you know, one of them dumb teams I don't like, I'm still gonna pull for him. He's a great guy.
That's awesome, and you know that's really cool to hear. And once again, it's another, you know, just being a diehard fan. That's awesome, Angela. So, with that said, let's get on into your draft picks. So, okay, I wonder what kind of if that was a sigh of relief or like oh no, but here we go, Angela. So. You guys had a decent amount of picks, not very many, but as about average. Actually, I think you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you had 6 out of 7, so not bad. You only lost 1 draft pick. But regardless, 8th overall pick, you guys pick up a freaking beast, okay? Inside linebacker out of Clemson. The guy knows how to win national championships, okay? The guy is a very good linebacker and just definitely somebody that is going to help that defense out a lot in Isaiah Simmons. No second round pick, but in the 3rd round, pick up Josh Jones, big offensive lineman, okay, big boy here out of Houston. Then you will pick in Houston, not too bad in the last couple of years, okay? The Cougars doing their thing, and, you know, maybe some depth there, maybe somebody who can make an immediate impact, we don't know. Then Leki Fotu, defensive tackle out of Utah. Another big guy there coming on over. Maybe, who knows if you can jump in that defensive line. Or, once again, you know, you don't necessarily have to be a high-round pick in order to make a difference. So, Rashard Lawrence coming on over from LSU. National championship winning LSU, by the way, in college. Coming over at defensive tackle in the... What is that? What round is this? Where are we at? In the 4th round. Then, moving on to the 6th round, we have Evan Weaver, inside linebacker out of Cal. Then we have here one more pick for you guys, Eno Benjamin. Hopefully I didn't butcher his name there, but running back out of Arizona State. Looks like he's not going to be going too far away as he's staying in the same state as his colleagues. So, with that said, what are some things you've seen in camp so far? Any videos, social media, things you have read? Who is making a big impact already, Angela? And who do you think is going to be making the biggest impact for the Cardinals this year in their rookie year?
Definitely going to just... I think looking at those draft picks, Isaiah Simmons, by far, he's already, I've watched Red and White game a couple of times. I've watched, practice videos, things like that. That guy is already beasting out. Obviously, being from North Carolina, you watch NC State, Clemson play. So, I've seen the guy play in college. That man, if he does what he did at Clemson for Arizona, I feel sorry for whoever we play. He is going to help make this defense what it needs to be that much better. He's just a great guy, great player, and I'm excited to have him on. Eno Benjamin's a good running back. I've watched a lot. I like Arizona State as well, so I like to watch a lot of their games, and he's a good running back. I think he's also going to be a good add to the team with Chase Edmonds and then Kenyon Drake. So obviously he's not going to start. You got Edmonds and Drake. They're going to be, probably first and second on the running back charts, and he'll probably maybe play special teams. But he's going to be good once he gets in there. Obviously, having some D tackles, again, we need some help on defense. We need some help. So adding to our defense is what we needed. And, so definitely Isaiah Simmons is my number one. I'm glad we were able to pick him up in the first round. But I'm also excited about our the defensive players we picked up, and Benjamin picking him up.
Oh, man, I'll tell you right now, you guys got quite the player in Simmons. And yeah, the guy's a freaking beast. I mean, Clemson linebackers, I still don't know what happened or why Benjamin Bulwer was not picked up somewhere after. I mean, this is years ago from Clemson, but you know, he had an incredibly awesome linebacker. Yes, I'm referring to the one play where he called it out. But I'm just saying, intelligence, the guy, he knew his thing out there on the field. He's a great player. He was a tackling machine. I don't know what teams didn't see, but regardless, y'all, I'm just saying, you know, another good linebacker there coming out of Clemson. This one went in the first round, and he's certainly just a freak of nature athlete. And it's so cool to see this guy get down and do his thing. So, with that said, let's roll on now over into this season. So, Angela, okay, we talked about the offseason. We talked about the about free agency. We talked about last season. We talked about the offseason. We talked about free agency. We talked about the draft. Now let's get into this year. The Arizona Cardinals last year were anything but desirable. Yeah, they're anything but good.
Anything but. That's all you needed to say. Anything but.
Kind of sad.
That is what we were. Anything but.
It's true. It was just really, yeah. It was a Raider season. You guys had a Raider season. I'm officially calling them Raider seasons. You know what I mean? When you have a bad season, oh, it was a Raider season. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but like, yeah, because I know what that's about. Hopefully the Raiders don't have a Raider season this year. Hopefully the Cardinals don't have a Raider season either. But man, you guys just had every bit of just it was a kick. It was a kick in the groin. It was just Regardless, though, this team still fights. This year, now once again, that's in the books. Once again, we are we put that in the past. Sorry to bring it up one more time. Doing some texting right now. Got a little caught up there. Sorry about that. But I'll tell you right now, Angela. Moving into this year, you have a Rams team that's literally kind of starting over. You have a Seahawks team who's pretty darn good, but what's going to happen? Are they? What Seahawks team are we going to get? We always get a competitive Seahawks team, but are we going to get a Seahawks team who's competitive and does pretty good, or a Seahawks team that's competitive and they're just kind of good enough? And then we have, or just good enough, if you will. And then we have the 49ers, who, you know, won the freaking NFC West and the NFC last year. And they're still going to be a lot of the same 49er team they were last year. So, we have here in the chat room, let's take a look here who's saying what. We got, here we go, Jerome, what's going on, man? He says, 49ers peeps, say no more. And he says, hi. So, welcoming J-Ron, or Jerron, I don't want to butcher his name, but yeah, man, good stuff there. So, with that said, Angela, tell us a little bit about this year, of what you expect from the Arizona Cardinals. Go ahead and go in depth, whatever you think, whatever you want to say, go for it.
So, this year, like I said, I feel like last year was kind of a rebuilding year. This year we're going to, kind of pick up where we left off, more of a working as a unit and being more as a team aspect in our game. So I feel like this year, I'm not expecting us to start out and, win 5 games automatically. Obviously I think we start off the season in San Francisco, okay? Now, would I like to see a win against the 49ers? Absolutely. Do I think we're going to pull off a win against the 49ers on week 1? I'm still kind of scratching my head on that. I can see it, but I can't see it. But I definitely think that this year is, we've had our rebuilding year. I don't think we need year 2 to rebuild. I think you're in year 2, you need to prove your worth type ordeal. I feel like Kyler is definitely, he's growing. He'll continue to grow. mentally, I mean, the guy's my height by all means. So if anybody says he's short, I don't like you because I'm not short. Thank you. He's still growing mentally. He's still learning the NFL versus college, but he's a great player. He's got quick feet. He's got a quick arm. He can move around in the pocket. If he sees something coming, he knows to move. He tuck and run type thing. But I feel like, again, going back to what I said earlier, I feel like we need to have that offensive line so that we can make more precision passes, more great routes running, and not just, oh crap, there's a man coming, I got to throw it and get it out of my hand type thing. So I think this year we'll see a lot more connectivity between all of the players. Our wide receivers and Kyler, and having a lot of the same team back help. Christian Kurt's coming back. You've got Larry Fitzgerald, like I said, his 17th season coming back. We've added DeAndre Hopkins, but Hopkins and Kyler have been doing a lot of connections within camp. So I feel like we've got those, they're working on those. When it comes down to, we all know Larry is almost double, triple teamed 90% of the time. Now I think when we add in another great wide receiver like Hopkins, they've got to decide, okay, so are we going after Hopkins? We're going after Fitz. We're going after Hopkins. We're going after Fitz. Oh, wait, there's Christian Kurt in the middle of the field. So I think now we've got a width, and kind of do our thing. Tight ends. I'm just going to straight out say it. Tight ends, if you were a tight end last year, I don't care if you sucked, that was your first NFL game you've ever played, you by all means can get through our defense. I don't know what it was. Any tight end could get through our defense last year. This year, I don't think that's an option. I do not think that's an option. I think that we have enough connection and enough manpower in that defense that, no. If Patrick Peterson can get his mental state back to where it was, a couple years ago, we're good. Buda Baker just re-signed. That man's a beast. He's a beast. So, we've got those players. Chandler Jones. Now we've got Isaiah Simmons. We've got those players on defense that can make the plays. I'm excited for this season. I'm excited to see how we connect. I'm excited, honestly, to start our first game in San Francisco playing against a 49ers team that went as far as the Super Bowl last year and still have about 90% of their players. I'm excited to see, okay, if we can match up against the 49ers, if we play crappy against the 49ers, we're in for a long road ahead for the next 16 games. But if we can hold the 49ers, then I believe that us, as Cardinals fans, will have a lot of hope for our boys this season. Do I think we're going to win NFC West? Heck no. I would like to. I'm just going to be real. If we get it, I'm going to be shocked. I would like for us to second place, but I think we're going to end up at third. I don't think we'll end up at the bottom, but if we play like we did last year, well, y'all might as well start getting the couch ready because we're going to be sitting at home for a long time.
Dang. Telling it how it is, huh, Angela?
I'm going to tell us. Larry, you've known me for I don't know how many years. I'm going to tell you like it is.
Absolutely. And you know what? That's all good. It's all good. Man, I just... you're right. I'm bummed that the Cardinals just haven't been that team. I mean, my gosh, Angela, the Cardinals hadn't ever been that team. In 2008/2009, you guys were that team. And then a few years after, you were kind of relevant, and then it's like you fizzled again. And it's like, gosh dang it, like, the Cardinals are a team that I find myself cheering for regularly when they're not against the Raiders, and it's like I just always want this team to do well just because they've been historically bad. You know what I mean? Like I can't help it.
We are now the oldest team in history to not win. Ever since the Cubs won the World Series, it has now made the Arizona Cardinals the oldest team in sports history not to win a championship.
That's insane.
Fun fact of the day. Fun fact.
That's insane.
And that dates back all the way to when they were the Chicago Cardinals. So, you know, that dates back. Obviously, it's not just in Arizona, but, you know, it dates all the way back. But, yeah, it's one of those things where for the 5 years ago, 2015, we had the NFC West. We have it since we won the NFC West and we started going into playoffs and we lost to Carolina. Why do we always lose in Carolina? Hello, I live in North Carolina. Can we stop losing in Carolina? Like, for the life of me, can we stop for one? But, you know, we haven't, I felt like since that year, we haven't been the Cardinals team we were even the year before that, 2 years before that. It's been 11 years now since we've been to the Super Bowl. 11 years. There are teams that go, you know, 2-3 times in the past 5 years. It's been 11. We got to change that.
Well, that's the Patriots, but absolutely. I guess I want you guys to win. I remember that year, that game. That was the second ever Super Bowl on my birthday. So, in 2009. I mean, that was such
Super Bowl.
That was a great game, and I'm just bummed that you guys couldn't win it. But, man, I'll tell you, I haven't cheered, like, this hard. I'll tell you what, I cheered, I think the hardest I've ever cheered was when Larry Fitzgerald broke away for that touchdown to, like, pull, I think you guys took the lead, 23-20. At that time, and then you pulled away, like, or 23-21 or something like that, and I was like, oh, man, but then, of course, we had that famous, was it Santana Moss? No, Santonio Holmes.
No, Santonio Holmes.
Yeah, I don't know why it's Santana Moss, but, yeah, big time catch there in the end zone, but regardless, okay, so real quick, going to the chat room here, we have some knowledge getting dropped on us here, man, once again, J-Ron, big ups to you, man, he says here, today would have been day 2 of the CFL's Labor Day Classic. Rough Riders, this shirt, versus the Blue Bombers. And he says, first time in LDC weekend, or first time the LDC weekend canceled since first weekend in 1949. Toronto versus Hamilton / Calgary versus Edmonton also. Wow, man. Thanks for the history there, Jerron. Thanks for tuning in. He's a Niners fan, by the way, Angela, but he says here...
I won't hold it against him. I won't hold it. We all make mistakes.
Oh, man. He says here, CFL 45% of any team's rosters can be imports, a.k.a. U.S. college players. And, well, this year, if the CFL was up and running, man, which I don't think it is. That's what we're talking about now. But,
no.
but hey, I'll tell you what, shoot, I'd be heading up there to play some football, man, if there's no NFL to play in. But Taryn says here, I said the Cardinals was going to be my surprise team of the NFC. It'll be tough for them, but I can see improvement in them. So, quick comments there on Taryn's comments.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to the CFL. If it wasn't for the CFL, to be honest, half of my boys from ECU would not be playing football with their life.
There you go.
So big shout out to CFL for doing those, for being there and giving guys an opportunity because they haven't been able to make it in the NFL. Football is football regardless. Obviously, there's different styles of plays. There's different rules and things like that. But, there's some guys who deserve a chance to be great and be seen, and they can't quite make it in the NFL. But CFL, even the XFL, has made those. I had a friend that played at ECU, little side note, who played in the XFL last year until it got canceled because of COVID. He is now playing for the Atlanta Falcons. He did play for NFL for a couple of years with the Green Bay Packers. Got cut, played at XFL for half a season, did great. Now picked up by the Atlanta Falcons. Josh Hawkins went to ECU. Good guy. But, yeah, so, you know, again, shout out to the CFL. So any CFL fans out there, shout out to y'all.
That's awesome.
Yeah, whoever said the Cardinals were what did you say? The Cardinals said that they were their wild pick or something like that?
Taryn said that.
Okay, shout out to Taryn then, because he's getting brownie points. Thank you. That's a long shot, but I would like to see us being, you know, I would like to see. I'm one of those. I like to prove haters wrong. So I would like to. Everybody says, "Oh, you're a Cardinal fan. You're a Cardinal fan." I would like to show them, yo, I'm a Cardinals fan, but look what we're doing right now. Look at this, look at that. You know, I haven't been able to do that in a while. So I have made this known on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw this a while back. It was retweeted by the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to make it known right here on 8 Divisions in 8 Days with my boy Larry B.
Yeah.
If and when the Arizona Cardinals win the Super Bowl, there will be an Arizona Cardinal tattooed on my body. So let's make it happen.
There you go.
That's all I got to say, Larry.
Mic drop.
That's all I got to say.
There you go. Oh, man, I'll tell you right now. This is awesome. Jerron says here, thank you, miss. CFL is as hard as NFL. The boys try their best, and we don't need domes. That's awesome. I'll tell you right now. And then he puts here in his little, he puts it, I think when you were talking about him being a Niners fan making mistakes, he put honey, ... or ... LOL.
You got the brownie points there.
Oh, man, yeah, I think he's trying to say, yeah, I'm a Niner no matter what. But he says, Adam says here in the chat room, CFL is fun, and J-Ron says, we play in the snow except in BC. So, awesome stuff there. Shoot, I wish I could have played in the CFL. I still can, actually. I mean, I'm still in my prime, actually, playing ball. So, yeah, it's my pro level. So, I definitely wouldn't mind going up there and playing for the Canadian League. But we have here, of course, the final segment, and this is always a fun one. Angela, you have a fun one every year. Well, last year we started this, and you had a fun one last year, I think. So let's go ahead and get on into it here today with a little segment we like to call Stick It To 'Em. So, we know that there are 3 teams that you do not like in this division. We know that. So, without further ado, talk about how you think those 3 teams are going to do this season. You can be respectful, you can be mean, however you want to be. Angela, without further ado, stick it to 'em.
All right. Well, it's been known that I am not a fan of the Seattle Sea Chickens. I am not a fan of the Little Lambs in LA. Nor am I a fan of the 40 Winers out in San Francisco. But we can't all be perfect, so if that's your team, so be it. You know, I'm sorry. You know, we've got room in the Red Sea if you'd like to come over. We'll have you fill out a bandwagon application, though, if you'd like to come over. So you're welcome to. I think this year is going to be, for the longest time, it was the NFC West was one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. It didn't matter if you were an NFC West fan, if you were an AFC North fan, it didn't matter. Everyone said AFC West is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. The past couple of years, it has been one of the most boring divisions in the NFL. I'm going to be honest. Arizona has been trash. That's my team. If you're trash, I'm going to take you out with last week's garbage, and I'm going to tell you you're trash. We have been trash. The Rams have been up and down. The Niners have been garbage for a while, and they finally have dug themselves out of the rat hole. I don't know what they've done, but they've figured it out. They've climbed out. Seattle has always pretty much stood its own on the top of the division. But I think this year, this will be, again, one, and I'm not saying the, I'm saying one of the toughest divisions. Seattle has got, while they have lost to Davion Clowney, which, you know, there was some talks of him coming to Arizona. I think it would have been good, but I also don't think it would have been great. There, I think he'll have better luck. I think he's where the Lions or something like that. I don't remember where he went, but I think he'll have better luck where he's at. They've lost that. They've still got, you know, they've lost J.R. Sweezy that played at NC State. He's now with Arizona. I think this is his second year with us. So they've lost some key players, but they still have a lot of key players. You know, obviously we all know Russell Wilson's still there with his 1,500 children that him and Sierra now have. I can't keep up with how many kids they have. But I love Russell Wilson, but for the record, he is an NC State Wolfpack. He may have graduated from Wisconsin. That is why he has a whole pack of Badgers. But he is a Wolfpack through and through, yes. The 49ers, they're going to pick off where they left off in the Super Bowl. Let's just be real. So that's going to be a tough game. Again, as I said earlier, I'm excited to see Week 1, September 13th. Y'all, we are 6 days away from Sunday football. I'm keeping track. I don't know if anybody else is. I have a tracker on my phone account now, so I'm excited. But the 49ers are going to pick up where they left off. The Rams, little silence of the land down there in LA. I'm so sorry for y'all. You guys are struggling right now. I hope that, you know, you can pick yourself up with your little McDreamy of a head coach or whatever y'all call him. But there's a little struggle going on. Again, I'm a Cardinals fan. I'm going to say that we're the closest thing to God, but we're not. You know, we're not. I wish I could say that. I wish I could be Bill Belichick and hold my team up on this pedestal and be like, yes, we're the greatest thing ever. But guess what? He now has Cam Newton, who dresses like Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. It's his quarterback. So, you know, there's struggles. But I'm excited for football this year. I miss preseason. I know it sounds stupid, but I've missed preseason. I've missed the trash talking. I'm ready to get back into it. You know, we've got, 3 more days till Thursday night football, and then we've got 6 days till Sunday football. So, you know, football season is here. Surprise! I don't know what rock you've been living under, but surprise, football season's here. So, yeah, I'm excited. That's me going off on my little tangent.
We had one of my boys, Josh, a Rams fan, saying she just called my coach MC Dreamy. and we got.
I did.
I didn't even catch that. And we got J Rod in here talking. Man, he says Angela with the wine glasses cheers, and man, this has just been too great. But with that said, we gotta get on to the next segment. But Angela, man, that was awesome. Thank you so much again for being on today's show. Angela, please let all these diehard Cardinals fans know where they can find you on Twitter and all of the awesome things you do.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter. Actually, most social media is Easy Card Princess. Hit me up, follow me. Apparently, I got drunk one night and started trash talking about Tom Brady. I forget that. I don't remember that, but I did. But no, I have fun on social media. It's not just Cardinals, especially Twitter. It's all sports. You know, I am part of the PR team. I want to give shout out to Larry and everything that he's doing with IE Sports Radio. I love being a part of the family. Love being on here, chatting Cardinals football, chatting sports in general. So, you know, you want a little chit chat. I'm overly superstitious, so I don't like to talk trash about my team, but I do talk trash about my team. I'll just say
Alrighty. Well, that's it, Angela. Thanks again. We look forward to talking to you soon. Take care. God bless. And we will talk to you within the next month and here on the show.
All right. Sounds great, Larry. Y'all have a good one.
You too. Take care, Angela.
Bye.
Alrighty. Once again, Miss Angela Winstead. Oh, she's awesome, man. Right? Great stuff all the time. Glad to have her here, part of the team. Glad to have her part of, well, the network, of course, the team. And glad to have her here on the show. Well, it is about that time for the Seahawks. So, when we get back, we are switching gears, and we got a brand new guest, and I'm just excited to have this guy. Seems like a real awesome, enthusiastic go-getter, and, well, we will see you and him on the other side of this break. You're listening to 3 and Out, Divisions in 8 Days, NFC West, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com. Part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
To the Soccer Scoreboard Show with your host, Gabriel Montoya. This is the show for soccer, football fans, or whatever you call the beautiful game. Every week, I tackle the latest and greatest news from around the soccer world. From the English Premier League, to the World Cup, to MLS, Liga MX, and more. You can listen to the Soccer Scoreboard Show and our lineup of fantastic guests every Friday at noon here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey guys, it's Blake Henley, better known as H-Town Blake to some of you. Happy to announce that Bases Loaded is back in full force. We'll be bringing that high heat every Tuesday night here on IE Sports Radio. So come home, get ready, dig into that batter's box, and see if you can chase that high heat, baby. So we'll be coming to you live with all the stats, all the rundowns, all the division rivalries, and every team that's going to make the playoff push to get to that one and only October and get to the pinnacle of what baseball is, to hoist that Commissioner's Trophy when it's all said and done.
Welcome back, football fans. Alrighty, y'all. We are right back at it talking. We are now halfway through the NFC West. We started off with the Rams. We just finished up with the Cardinals. So once again, big shout out to Mr. Eric Palaio talking Rams football and to Miss Angela Winstead talking Cardinals. We are now on to the next team, and this team is something, man. This team is a team to always... I mean, it's literally one of the craziest teams to watch because you don't know what you're going to get. You can get a big-time victory. You can get a not really a terrible loss, but a close loss. You can get just, I don't know. I mean, I've never seen the Seahawks getting blown out before. I remember that. I mean, it's been a long time, I think, since that's happened. You know, I mean, like, bad. Maybe it hasn't. I don't know. I haven't watched you know, a whole bunch of Seahawks football. Like, I mean, I have, of course, with Sunday Ticket, but I just, you know, haven't seen everything to remember, all of it at one time. But anyway, I ramble. I digress. Regardless, y'all, we're now halfway through the show, and perfect timing because we are now on to our third of 4 teams here today. We'll be talking to Miss Jess later on, talking about her 49ers. Also, we have here in the chat room, man, Mr. J-Ron just getting down. He says Sad Hawks. So, oh boy, he's a Niners fan, by the way. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here for his first time, and hopefully first time of many. I'm so glad to have him here today. He is Super Seahawks fan and the voice behind Every Yard Matters. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome in for his first time here, and hopefully first of many, ladies and gentlemen. The one, the only, Mr. Demond Geis. What's going on, Demond? How you doing today, man?
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for having me.
Hey, brother, it's a pleasure having you, man, and I'm glad that you were able to be here today, man. I told you I was scrambling for a Seahawks fan, and, well, you popped up, and thank you, man. By the way, Demond moved some things around to be on today's show, so, hey, do appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot for making the time for us here today.
Oh, absolutely. I'm ready to go ahead and get started, man. I got a rep for the 12 today.
Absolutely, man. So here we go. Let's do the dang thing and have some fun, man. So, all right, first things first. Since you are a newcomer, go ahead and explain to everybody, man, real quick, how you became a diehard Seahawks fan.
Well, man, I actually moved to Seattle. I'm 21 years old now. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, but actually moved to Seattle in 2006 because of Hurricane Katrina from New Orleans. So grew up out there, just became a Seahawks fan instantly once I started understanding football, and you start going through, and it's just something you get accustomed to growing up out there. But ever since then, the team has gotten different, new uniforms and stuff like that, but also Russell Wilson. So been a Seahawks fan for a long time, for most of my life.
That's awesome, man. So with that said, let's jump on into last season. So last season wasn't too bad. It really wasn't. But at the same time, it wasn't good enough. So you guys had some ups and downs, mostly ups, but unfortunately not, like I said, not enough to get to the bowl. You guys have a monstrous team. A couple of years back, you guys blew out the Broncos. You guys were in a few Super Bowls in the last decade. Actually, the last 2 decades you were in, Super Bowls, and you guys played real well, man. And here you are today, the team that has been led by Pete Carroll. The man is the oldest coach in the NFL, and it doesn't matter one bit because he's as youthful as ever, and this team is incredibly good. And overall, man, go ahead and talk us through every raw emotion last year for those Seahawks.
Just as a Seahawks fan, no game is normal. Every game, whether, no disrespect to any fans out there, but whether you're playing the Jaguars or you're playing the Patriots or you're playing the 49ers, who we have to see twice, it's just every game is a heartbeat. But when you have Russell Wilson at the end of games, is very good. Nobody has won more games in clutch time since Russell Wilson has been in the league. So, we usually come out on top, but last year, heading into the thick of it, headed into the playoffs around week 14, I want to say, we had a chance to be the number 1 seed, and then injuries started piling up. Lost Chris Carson, then lost his backup, Rashad Penny. Signed Marshawn back, which, made everyone excited, but he's not the Marshawn of old that we needed. But we ended up having a shot, came up short against the 49ers on Sunday Night Football, got a playoff win against the depleted Eagles, but then, once it came time to go to Green Bay, we ran into the Packers and Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and you know how good they are. So looking at this year, man, it's going to be different. There's a good feel to this year, I feel like.
All right, man. Well, that's great, and then we're going to jump right into that, man. So I love how, you at the end of the day, you still have that, you have a lot of optimism, and you should. This team is not They're not out, man. They're still a good, solid, strong team, man. So let's head on over to overthecap.com because this website is just awesome. It tells me all the transactions from the year, man. Well, from this last past offseason. So, all right, man. So you guys kept a few players. You got some departures going on. You got some signings here. So Greg Olsen comes on over from the Panthers. That was pretty sweet, all right. Then you guys will lose, actually. I'm sorry, and also you will gain Jamal Adams, strong safety from the Jets. Then, at the same time, you guys lose Bradley McDougall, safety. He'll head on over to the Jets. You guys picked up Bruce Irvin, of course, coming on over from the Panthers. He's coming back home. He was formerly a Panther and formerly a Seahawk a while back. We have here Quentin Dunbar coming over from the Washington football team over to Seattle. We have BJ Finley, at safety. BJ Finley at center coming on over from the Steelers. You guys will lose George Font, left tackle, all over to the Jets. DJ Fluker will head on over to the Ravens, right guard. Carlos Hyde will come on over from the Texans to the Seahawks. That's actually a pretty good pickup. I should have picked it up in fantasy. I didn't even realize that. Mikey Apati will stay. Mikey Apati is an interesting man because he started off with the Niners. Then he went on over to the Cardinals. Oh, no, I think he started off... Yeah, he started with the Niners, then he went to the Cardinals, now he's in the Seahawks. If he goes to the Rams, man, it's crazy to think he'll play in all 4 uniforms, which is pretty crazy. But he's staying with you guys, it seems. Philip Dorsett, or he is staying with you guys, that is. Philip Dorsett coming on over from the Patriots. You have Al Woods going to the Jaguars, defensive lineman there. Jermaine Ifedi going over to the Bears, right tackle. You guys have Josh Gordon-Stain. Quentin Jefferson comes on over from the Bills. So it's like, man, you guys had a lot of pickups, a lot of different transactions, man. Really just a lot of moving pieces, and there's just way too many to get to. So if you want to go ahead and add some yourself, please feel free to. But at the end of the day, man, you guys had an interesting offseason in free agency. Go ahead and talk about that. Who do you think can come in, make an immediate impact? Who do you think was the biggest departure? Who do you think is the biggest re-signing? The floor is yours, man. What do you think?
Gotcha. Well, I feel like everyone knows the most recent news was Clowney leaving.
Yeah.
With the Jamal Adams trade, and nobody expected the Seahawks to pick Jordan Brooks in the first round. Where they did, it was very unexpected. Maybe the shock of the draft, but at the same time, you look at what the Seahawks have done over years past. They have a scheme that they want to stick to, and it's really outdated in today's game. When you look at the Chiefs of the world, and now what the Cowboys are trying to do with CeeDee Lamb, it's 3 wide receiver sets, and you need a lot of speed on that. Typically, that's more DBs, but what the Seahawks want to do is be able to stop the run. You're in a division with the 49ers. The Rams will get things open through the run, and also the Cardinals, who have Kyler Murray, can get some things going on his own. So when you look at that, that's why they selected Jordan Brooks. And then you get Jamal Adams in a trade, and people believe he's the best safety in the league. Also, best run stopper, one of the best playmakers in the game. So you get him, you also get more toughness, hard hitters to go along with Bobby Wagner, who some say the best linebacker in the league. So that's a great defensive tandem to have. And what Russell Wilson has pretty much been saying is they want playmakers. They want guys who's going to come in, make an immediate impact, and help them win football games. And I believe Jamal Adams is just that. So when you look at the departures, the arrivals, I believe the Seahawks know what they're doing. They want to invest in this secondary. You have Quentin Dunbar, who also you spoke about, came over from Washington. Second greatest, he was the second highest graded Pro Football Focus corner. And that goes into consideration with man coverage, zone coverage. And when you look at that, you also have Shaq Griffin, just coming off his first Pro Bowl, and Quandre Diggs, who led the team almost in interceptions after being traded for it late in the season. So you get those guys, you get them healthy, the defense should be able to stop some things and get the pass rush going, even though Clowney's gone.
I like it, man. You broke everything down, and great stuff. Really, really. You guys are a tough team, dude. Like, you guys really do have a really good, strong foundation. Even with the moving pieces this year, you guys look pretty solid, man. So let's go ahead and talk about this draft. So you already brought up Jordan Brooks, first round draft pick, number 27 overall. This dude is a freaking beast, all right? Linebacker out of Texas Tech. And overall, you guys get a incredibly good player here in Jordan Brooks, somebody to help out in that linebacking core. I mean, Bobby Wagner's still there. You know, Irvin's coming back. So it's like you guys are just helping out. I mean, man, is KJ Wright still there?
KJ Wright is still there. And what's crazy to me is, you know, you just forgot about KJ Wright, but it's not just you. A lot of people have forgotten that KJ Wright is still there. And it's crazy because he just came off his second most tackle season. He had 134 tackles last year. And it's crazy because, you know, doesn't get that much recognition, but it's crazy to think about. The Seahawks, I feel like, are a very underrated team going into this year.
No, they really are. This is a good football team, man. I feel like there's just a lot there that, you know, and of course all led by Pete Carroll. Like, the dude is just, he's an OG. I mean, I'm an SC fan. I will always be an SC fan. Some people are like, oh, he did y'all dirty. I don't know. I'm a Pete Carroll fan no matter what. So I'm a low-key Seahawks fan when it comes down to it, man, because of him. And of course, for some crazy reason, man, I always say this with Seahawks fans, but it's hilarious how the Raiders and the Seahawks seem to share coaches and players and all kinds of stuff. And, you know, in the last 2 decades it's been going on. Of course, I mean, it's just, you know, coincidence. I'm just saying it's crazy. But overall, man, you guys really do have a solid base here. But yeah, once again, big pickup there in the first round. Second round here, we have Darrell Taylor, and defensive end out of Tennessee, SEC player, big dude, man. Certainly somebody who can come help out in that defensive line. We have here next up, in the third round, a man who knows how to win national championships, Damian Lewis, guard out of LSU. I'm not sure why he went so low, but regardless, they and both the LSU and the Atlanta, and the Georgia Bulldogs offensive lines are just, they were nasty. And seriously, to have any of those offensive linemen on your team would be definitely a big help. And those are some big boys. So bringing him on over was pretty darn good, in my opinion. Fourth round here with the 133rd overall pick, we have Colby Parkins coming over, tight end from Stanford. Know a thing or two about him, Pac-12 guy myself. But next up we have round 4, pick 144, DJ Dallas, running back out of Miami. Overall, we just see things very simple here, man. Another running back for some depth. We know Carson's the guy there, but regardless, you guys, man, just added some depth there, and Pete Carroll's the kind of guy, he'll just put something together, man. Dicing up, slicing up offenses. He just has his fun, man. So he wants to bring in some speedy guys. Definitely got a speedy guy there. Round 5 here, we have Alton Robinson, defensive end out of Syracuse. Once again, some more depth for that defensive line. In round number 6, Freddie Swain, Florida, wide receiver out of Florida. Some more speed there, and just once again more weapons for Russell Wilson. Then we have here in the 7th round, Stephen Sullivan. I don't know if it's Stephen or Stephen how he pronounces it, but tight end out of LSU, yet another big time tight end, and you know another big time player that is out of LSU. And overall, man, I mean, I don't know. You know, hopefully all these guys make it on the team. We'll see. But when it comes down to it, what have you seen, Damon? What have you seen, man, like this so far in free agency or in really anything in free agency or, you know, social media? I'm sorry, not free agency. Social media or things you've read about in camp or any live streams or anything like that or interviews you've heard. Who's standing out right now in camp or who stood out and who is just somebody that you feel can come in and make an immediate impact?
Well, when you look at the Seahawks, it's not so much gone great as far as draft picks. LJ Collier we had last year. He had 3 tackles all of last year. So they're betting on him to be big this year. But when you look at guys who could make an impact for the Seahawks, it's going to be guys who have been there. This is their second year, third year coming into that. I know they want to get Ben Burr-Kirven, linebacker out of Washington. So he's a fan favorite up there. They want to get him some snaps. But what I'm hearing the most is Marquise Blair, and they have him in the nickel position. I watched him a lot last year. One of his standout games, if you go back and watch the game against the Falcons, who we actually played week 1 this year, coming up on Sunday. But when you watch Marquise Blair in that game, he was just a game wrecker. He was forcing fumbles, pass deflections, and he was actually getting to the quarterback. So when you look and we have more DBs on the field, when we go to our nickel package, which is something they don't like to do, but they'll have the flexibility to do because that's why they drafted Jordan Brooks. They just have guys that know the system a little bit, and they're not going to rely on guys coming in this year from the draft class, but they want them to go ahead and start grooming them. So I just expect Marquise Blair to have a breakout season, and some of the guys that they traded for that have been in the league. But the younger guys will get their snaps, and we'll see what they can do.
There you go, man. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to some good players. And just more than anything, man, looking forward to seeing, these young guys get out there. I'm a college guy myself. I love college, man. I mean, I played in the NCAA myself, Division III, but still, man, I love me some college football. To me, I feel like that's always just going to be something that I just dig a lot more. I love the NFL too, don't get me wrong, but it's cool when you see these youngsters come in here and just make a name for themselves and do their thing. Some wash out, some make a name for themselves, some are just in the middle. But yeah, man, I love watching these youngsters get in there and do their thing. So with that said, let's get on in now to this season. So overall, this year, we talked about last year, we talked about last year. We talked about the free agency period. We talked about the draft. Let's get on to this year now, man. So, I got a few questions because I feel like there's a lot to talk about the Seahawks. First things first, Clowney. What do you think actually happened?
I don't think it was anything negative with Clowney. I just think this year, nothing is normal, so he didn't get the same luxury. Like, the Seahawks didn't get the same luxury they would have to keep him, as well as other teams didn't get the luxury to persuade him a little bit more. If I'm the Saints, I'm a little, I questioned the decision of him not going to the Saints over the Titans because he would have get to play with Cam Jordan, who would free him up on double teams for pass rush and everything like that. But we know what Clowney brings to the game as far as stopping the run. But I just look at Clowney leaving, and it when I look at the Seahawks, it seems like they know what they're doing up front. They have a lot of young guys who they're going to rotate in. They brought back Jefferson and Bruce Irvin, who knows the scheme, has been there, won a Super Bowl with this team, and also played with Bobby Wagner and KJ. So we get a little, old times back, but they know what they want to do up front, and it's not going to rely on one player. It's going to have to be a collective thing. But like I said earlier, I believe that all the strength goes into the secondary as well as the linebacking core led by Bobby and KJ.
There you go, man. And yeah, I didn't even know that. I've been kind of out of the loop this year. It's been a crazy year, as you mentioned. But yeah, man, Clowney, that sucks I couldn't bring him back. But or other than that, man, definitely, I still feel you guys have enough firepower to have a really solid defense there. Next up, Russell Wilson, man. This man has made a home. I don't think he's going anywhere. He's going to be there I believe he'll be a lifer like Larry Fitzgerald is with the Cardinals. I mean, the man owns a bit of the Sounders. I mean, he is just a big-time Seattle guy, and he's just one of those faithful guys, and he's just going to do everything he can to stick around, and he's just, overall, just a great guy, and it's really neat to see somebody, someone to God, just a good person, and it's so neat to see him do his thing every single year, and overall, man, some people could say whatever they will, but, I mean, right now, oh my gosh, he's been in for a little bit now, but now with all these years under his belt, I mean, Russell Wilson has definitely, in my opinion, become elite. Do you feel right now that he's leading the charge? Do you feel that he has brought this same type of hype that he has brought every year? Like, do you feel like he's the reason why this offense is always so upbeat and ready to rock and roll? Or do you feel like that's a lot of Pete Carroll as well? Or do you feel like it's a combination? I mean, do you seriously see, we have Brady Belichick being a great quarterback head coach combo. With Russell Wilson, what do you think, man? I mean, do you think that these two are like they've been great, but like that next, those two guys are legit. I mean, what do you feel with a head coach and quarterback in Seattle right now?
Okay, so I was going to tell you something about yourself earlier when you said you were a Pete Carroll guy, because, right now, the aura around the Seahawks is 3 words: let Russ cook. That's how everybody feels. You can look it up on Twitter, on all social media. That's what every Seahawks fan feels, because if you look at our playoff history and every game that we're in, if we let Russell Wilson take over, the games wouldn't be as close. And I understand what you're saying about, head coach and quarterback, but Pete Carroll is more defense, and the defense has been slowly declining ever since we've been losing those Super Bowl guys and the LOB, and Richard Sherman and Earl Thomas, and unfortunately Cam Chancellor. Pete Carroll the defense has been slowly depleting. So, the Jamal Adams trade, I feel like, is a big part of getting that back for the defense. But at the end of the day, we know who this team goes through, who this team leader is, and the ball has to be in Russell Wilson's hands when the game matters the most.
That's awesome.
When we look, yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry about that, man. It's a big kick you off there. You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. When I look at Russell Wilson, man, I think this is the year for him to go ahead and win MVP. When I look at what the Seahawks have done this offseason to kind of go ahead and shift the offense around, and I feel like they're going to give this is the year they officially give the keys to him. You look at, they just brought back Josh Gordon, who was reinstated by the league. Pete Carroll himself said Philip Dorsett is the fastest receiver he's ever coached. You got to think we have Percy Harvin, we have the young days of Golden Tate, so that's going. That's a good sign. You have a second-year DK Metcalf, who some have made the top 100 players list, voted on by the players. A lot of people compare him to Julio, who we'll see face off against Week 1. So people expect him to break out. And then you also have Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson, one of the best connections in the league. They just have great chemistry. Every ball you see that goes to Tyler Lockett is a big play. Russ loves throwing it to him. So when you look at that, and the tight end group is deep. You have Chris Carson coming back from injury, and Rashad Penny, Carlos Hyde. There's a lot of guys who can go ahead and product in this offense, and nobody has to do too much. So if Russ is able to spread the ball and do what he wants to do, I can see this team being a legitimate contender. I can see Russell Wilson finally getting that legitimate MVP recognition.
There you go, man. This is quite the team, and I like that. I didn't even know that. I don't know why I thought Pete Carroll would be an offensive guy, but no, he actually is. You're very correct, a defensive-minded coach. So, yeah, at that point in time, it's true, man. Russell Wilson makes things happen. The guy is insane. So, yeah, silly me for not even knowing about that. But that's crazy, man. So there's actually hashtags and everything. As they say, let Russell cook.
Let Russ cook, yeah.
Let Russ cook. That's legit. I gotta go check that out a little bit. But, yeah, man, you guys have just there's something there, man. This team is they're unreal. They really are. It's a very, very, very good team. And there's just a lot that goes into this team, I feel, in so many different ways. And it's true. I would love to see that defense get back to where it was. The LOB days were awesome. And, though I know, none of those players are there anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
None of the original LOB. So it's like, at the end of the day, man, that was fun while it lasted. But regardless, I just felt like, that nasty, tough defense it can definitely be, I don't want to say rebuilt, because I don't feel like it's bad right now. I just feel like it's not as tough as it was. So, you can rebuild it up from decent from where it is to good, not like it's all the way down. But, yeah, man, personally, I just think the Seahawks have a lot to build on right now and have a lot to go in a good direction. So with that said, man, this is always a fun segment right here. It's the very end of the segment. So once again, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, man, Damon Geis, thank you both for joining us today, man. But we are not done. We are not done. No. We have the final segment of today's show, or of every segment, is a little somewhat to call Stick It To Them. And this is always fun because there are 3 other teams in this division that you guys don't like. That's all there is to it, man. It's just the way it is. Football's family. It brings everybody together, but rivals, well, during football season, and especially during those 3 hours, y'all play, you're just not cool. You can be cool afterwards, but it is what it is. So it's just it's a rivalry, and this is what it comes down to. Is what it's all about, usually. So, all right, man, the floor is yours. You went ahead and talked about everything Seahawks going into this season and everything. Ended off with your thoughts of the other 3 teams in the division, what you think they're going to do this year. You could be respectful, you could be mean, however you want to do it. And then, of course, ended off with how you think the Seahawks are going to do this year. Without further ado, Damon, stick it to them.
Gotcha. So when I look at the Cardinals, I feel like the Cardinals are one of the actually up-and-coming teams in the league. I feel like they could be the shock of the league this year. When you look at Kyler, he kind of brings that Lamar Jackson second-year hype when it comes to running the football and what he can do and expectations. I feel like he's there. They just traded for DeAndre Hopkins, so that's going to give him a big-time weapon. But when it comes to playoffs and everything, I just don't know if this is the year. They didn't do much to improve the offensive line, but they have a lot of young talent. You saw they just signed Buda Baker, who grew up in Bellevue, where I also grew up in Seattle. They also got Isaiah Simmons, who I think was the steal of the draft. But when I look at the Cardinals, all that young talent, you're going to see it a lot in their games. But it's going to have to translate to winning, and I think they're a year too soon. When I look at the Rams, and I don't know if we have any people who watch Hard Knocks in here, but I'm kind of hyped about the Rams. I'm kind of hyped. We all know Aaron Donald, the best defensive player in football. I think the best player in football. We all know what he brings to the table. You have Jalen Ramsey getting accustomed to L.A. and how things work, who I think is the second best corner in football, still behind Stephon Gilmore. But when I also look at them, it starts with what they do on offense through Sean McVay and Jared Goff. No Todd Gurley, so they kind of want to do a running back committee. We'll see how that works with Cam Akers and Henderson. They have him in their second year. But we know what they have in their wide receiver core. Traded away Brandon Cooks, but they like their guy who they got now, Van Jefferson. But they still have Cooper Kupp, who scored 10 touchdowns last year, and Robert Woods, who is like their number one option. He can block, he can do it all. So the Rams, I think they could be one of those teams who sneak in the playoffs, but I'm not going to go ahead and write them off. But when we look at the top two teams in this division, I believe we both know where it stands. Go ahead and talk about the 49ers. When I look at the 49ers, I believe they'll pick up where they left off. I think they're too dominant. They have too many guys who can go ahead and wreck a game at once. You have former LOB member Richard Sherman, one of the all-time greats, maybe the greatest cornerback of my generation. We know what Sherman brings to the table. I think Nick Bosa is going to take a step forward and go ahead and win the Defensive Player of the Year, just coming off the Defensive Rookie of the Year. Only player that I can remember that did that in my time was Luke Kuechly, who's no longer playing the game. But when you look at Nick Bosa, I think he'll go ahead and take that step forward. He wants to get paid like his brother. His brother is now the highest paid defender in football, so we know he's next. But the offense, we know what they want to do running the ball. You have Mostert, get Tevin Coleman back, Jerick McKinnon, and they also have some weapons. We know the best tight end in football, in my opinion, George Kittle, and Jimmy G another year with Shanahan. So I think the 49ers will pick up right where they left off, but I think they will become second in the division. They have to play the first place schedule, and that entails them with having to play the Saints again, and they have to play the Eagles, so they'll run into some tough matchups. But the Seahawks, my team, and I know this will sound a little bit biased, but who cares? That's my team. Right. I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks to win the division. Like I said, I believe they have the MVP and Russell Wilson. I think Pete Carroll go ahead and gets that defense back into fruition to what he's used to. He has playmakers all over the defense, especially in the back end with the linebackers and secondary. Jamal Adams, Bobby Wagner, we know the deal. And I just feel like the Seahawks kind of have it all to put it together this year. So I think they'll do that and go ahead and win the division.
There you go, man. All right, y'all. I just got to say, that was awesome. Damon, guys, y'all, once again, thank you so much for joining us on the show, man. So, last but not least, you made some time for us today, man. You said you had to move things around. I mean, you originally said, you would be free in about 2 hours. We should move things around to be able to here today. So we do this anyway, but I just wanted to point that out once again to our listeners because we appreciate you, man. But go ahead, man. You have something pretty cool going on. You actually have an NFL media outlet that you run. Really cool. I think it's something, it's really, really neat. I love managing our social media stuff here at IE Sports Radio, and Taryn and our PR department, Angela, we just had her on right now before you came on demand, and of course Meg. I just feel like, it's really, really neat. It's something neat to do, but it's cool. I was taking a look at your page a little bit on Instagram, and you got something cool going, man. So go ahead, man. The floor is yours. Please let all of our listeners know, all the Seahawks fans out there know, about this outlet, what you do, when you started it, how you do it, and the whole bit. And then, of course, end it off with the plug for yourself, man, where all these diehard Seahawks fans can find you, where the 12 can find you at, and where anybody else can find all of your work, publications, anything you may do, man. Let everybody know.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, it's a sports media outlet. I think the best social media outlet for NFL analysis, news, and highlights. This is something I've been working on for a minute. It actually came into fruition today. Started posting everything today, posted the logo over the weekend. So got that out there and just been gaining some traction. But today I went ahead and released, my official top 10 quarterbacks heading into the 2020 season, top 10 running backs heading into the 2020 season, top 10 wide receivers, defensive players. And then I also went ahead and released my preseason predictions for MVP, which entail Russell Wilson winning MVP, Bosa Defensive Player of the Year, A.J. Terrell winning Defensive Rookie of the Year for the Atlanta Falcons, Patrick Mahomes winning Offensive Player of the Year, and so forth and so on. But when you look at this, I think this is the best genuine social media page. You'll be able to find NFL news and analysis. I also like to go ahead and socialize with the followers and the people who comment. Go ahead and get some of their opinions, share them on the Instagram story so they can get out there. And it's just really fun, sparks a lot of debate. But I also want to go ahead and post highlights. And there's a podcast and so much coming soon that we'll have up on YouTube. Really excited to go ahead and start getting that going. But my name is Damon Geist. You can follow me everywhere on social media at Damon Geist, Instagram, Twitter. Also, Every Yard Matters, the best social media outlet for NFL analysis, news, and highlights. Every Yard Matters on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find our page on Facebook. We would like if you could like, comment, and share. And, yeah, ready to go ahead and get you guys out the best content.
There you go, man. Well, definitely check that out. Really appreciate that. And, yeah, man, I went and gave you guys a follow on our iSports Radio account. I'll give you one on a private account as well, man. And, hey, football, once again, as one of our PR agents say, Miss Meg Renee, football is family, and it's true, man. It brings us all together no matter what. So, it's awesome, man. Appreciate you for jumping on here, for getting that out there. That's really cool, man. Caught you on the first day of this. So, hopefully today gave you some more exposure and some more follows. And, definitely, man, we will look forward to having you back on the show. Primetime face-offs are a lot of fun. That's when you take on somebody that's taking on the Seahawks in a primetime debate when you guys are in primetime. So I don't know when you guys are in primetime this year, but we already got the whole schedule up and everything ready to go. So we'll schedule you, man, for sure. And come on in and have some fun, and let's see if you can win a debate.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds like fun, brother. But all right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, y'all, this is awesome. Damon Geist. Hey, dude, real quick, where can they find you on Twitter?
Damon Geist, at Damon Geist, DMONDGUICE, and that's Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
All right, y'all. Once again, Damon Geist, go check him out, y'all, on social media. The dude is legit. I'm so glad you were here to join us today, man. Thank you so much for your time and for moving things around. Appreciate you, man. Take care. God bless you, the family, and we'll talk to you real soon here on the show, man.
Yes, sir. God bless you. Thank you for having me.
Anytime, man. Take care. All right, y'all, that is going to do it for the Seahawks. One more time, y'all. Damon, guys, that was awesome, man. I'm telling you, he was in the clutch. Like, I'd never a Seahawks fan, and he was a Seahawks fan. he came up on the show, so that was really cool, and that will be that. So, with that said, y'all, we got one more team to go here on today's show. We have 3 teams down in the NFC West. It's time to talk the final team in the NFC West here today. And we know who that is, of course. The San Francisco 49ers, y'all. The defending NFC champions. One more applause. I mean, let's be real, y'all. This team, man, tough. So they didn't win it all earlier this year. It's all good. They're still a tough team, and man, they know how to win some games. So, with that said, really glad to have here, coming up in just a few minutes, the lovely Miss Jess will be joining us. You heard her in numerous primetime face-offs last year. I think she was even on this segment last year. I'm not quite sure. We'll ask her. But, coming up in just a few minutes, we got Miss Jess talking 49ers football. on the other side of this break, and then, of course, you got my final weigh-in after this, and then off to the NFC East tomorrow. So, with that said, this is me, your boy Larry B, and this is 3 and Out, 8 divisions in 8 days, NFC West, the kickoff of NFC Week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this. College football, and do you want to hear a college football show dedicated to all that is college football, including junior college in the CCCAA and in the NJCAA, the NAIA, and the NCAA, including Division III, Division II, Division I AA in the FCS, and Division I Single A in the FBS. Well, then look no further. Join myself, Larry B., and my colleagues, Mr. H-Town Blake Henley, and Mr. Christian Espinoza, each week during the college football season for the latest in college football on 3 and Out College Edition, right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before? You got to check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest. Always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
Here comes the pitch, and it comes in wide.
On the BS3 Sports Show.
Welcome to the BS3 Sports Podcast. We hope your experience with us is amazing. Sports talk, comedy, social issues, and more. BS3 is the best source. Can you dig it, son?
Hi, I'm Brian McLaughlin. In the National Football League, there are approximately 17 million total fans.
I'm Andrew Guzman. My Dallas Cowboys make up almost 9 million of those fans.
And my Seahawks have a very loyal fan base of around 4 million.
That's more than 3/4 of all the fans.
That's absolutely correct, Andrew. And on the Common Ground Football Podcast, we'll be talking about the good, bad, and the ugly of these teams.
We'll have weekly picks, discuss transactions, injuries.
And we'll chat about the rest of the league, too.
Blake freaking Bortles?
Oh, yes. And Captain Andrew Luck.
Excellent. What about Fitzmagic?
Oh, let's not get carried away now.
Oh, all right then.
Join us each week at commongroundfootballpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcast.
It's going to be
awesome. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Vince Wright, the sports governor from the great state of Minnesota, and I want to thank you for listening to Sports Done Right. Make sure you're checking us out on all of our platforms, whether it's Spreaker.com, XSquadAffiliates.com. We're also heard on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, so keep it tuned here. More great things coming from Sports Done Right.
Absolutely, y'all. Make sure to check out Vince Wright, man. He's a dear friend of mine. Great guy, and just an overall great guy. He does his thing. Sports Done Right. I know he hasn't had a lot of shows this year. This year has been weird for everybody. I know that. But at the same exact time, we have had ourselves all kinds of great things going on at the same exact time. So many blessings at the same exact time, so much crap at the same exact time. So regardless, I'm just happy. I count my blessings and thank God every day for all those amazing things. And I just gotta, be excited for what can come next. So in that sense, I just had to thank our next guest right now before we came on air. She's awesome. She is definitely somebody that is just every single time. I mean, seriously, I think there's all maybe once because I think she was busy. Seriously, like she has made it to like every single freaking show we can talk football, 49ers football, because she's such a diehard about her team, and I eat it up. Having her on this show it makes every show that she's on that much better, and I'm so glad she could be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman needs no introduction, but she's gonna get one anyway. All the way from the East Coast, repping those 49ers. That's right, y'all. Coming all the way from the East Coast. We have two fans today coming from the East Coast. This woman has been a Niners fan. She's a lifer, and she has always been, and she will always be a San Francisco 49er. And I'm so glad to have her here today yet again to talk about her team and how good they really are. And we just talked about them possibly getting back, repeating in the NFC and getting back. And we're not counting our chickens. We just know that this team is a strong, tough team. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, here to talk the final team of the day, the defending NFC West champions and the defending NFC champions, the team that is just so dang strong that, well, you walk out up there on the schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here to talk about that team. Die-hard 49ers fan, and soon to be, she's definitely going to be on the ballot for the iSports Radio Hall of Fame, and I hope she gets in as a iSports Radio Hall of Famer because she deserves every bit of it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the one, the only, Miss Jess. What's going on, Jess?
What's going on, Larry? It's so awesome to be back. Go Niners, saving the best for last.
Hey, there you go. You are the real deal, Jess. Those Niners are a different story in a different book. We can't even get past the introduction here without talking about how awesome they've been and what a strong, tough team they've been. Let's do the dang thing, Jess. So, first and foremost, last year, talk about some freaking magic. This team was unreal. Go ahead and walk us through every emotion, and unfortunately bring us to the end of it. I know it isn't the best result, but it's okay. Go ahead and talk to us, Jess. Tell us all about every emotion, every raw emotion through last year.
Well, you know what? You're not a sports fan if you don't feel the emotions with your team. And last year was just happiness. Just for the 49ers, the entire organization to be back to where they should be. And unfortunately, in the end, it didn't work out the way we wanted it to, but I feel it just made us hungrier for this season, and we are ready to go.
Absolutely. You guys are the real deal, and you're hungry and ready to rock and roll, and I'm excited. This is a good football team. So, moving on in to this year, I mean, realistically, we see a team that is just every bit of hungry and starving that you can imagine. And, there were some key departures. Before we go any further into free agency, I just want to know something, though. Of course, we talked about this before in the debates and everything, Jess, but you guys have one of the best, defensive line cores there could possibly be in the NFL, and probably one of the best I've seen in ever. I mean, this is a great football team, but this defensive line, we're going to get into the rest of the departures and pickups, but I just want to know one in specific. Personally, Jess, I want to know from a diehard. We haven't talked about this, even on Twitter. I mean, maybe we have, or I don't know, but DeForest Buckner, I mean, what do you think personally? Do you think that was, I know he's not replaceable, but there's a lot of depth there. How did you feel when you first got the news?
It was upsetting. Because I like Defoe. He really came up huge on that line. But, it's a business decision, and I understand why we did it. And now it's just going to, take a collective effort. And I believe we have the pieces to do that.
I agree. You guys are about as tough as it gets, and that defensive line is no joke. And it sucks that you guys lost him. It really does. But at the same exact time, you guys did clear up a lot of cap space, and you do have, other talent there, but still. And he was a captain, wasn't he?
He was, yes.
Oh, man. Yep. To lose a captain. It sucks. But same exact time, you know what? The guy is a monster, and you know what? He's going to go do great things in Indianapolis. He went to the Colts, right? That's where he went?
Yeah, and I wish him all the best with the Colts. He's going to do awesome things there. It's just, at the end of the day, the NFL's a business, and that's what happened.
Exactly, and bummer, but at the end of the day, you're right. It's a business, and I think that he's off to a place where he can, as much as you want to say, you don't want to say this. We always say bigger, better things, because at the end of the day, of course, he was at the place where he had a chance to win a ring, but, you want to wish him the best and just even say that for him no matter what, because, well, hopefully, even no matter how it turns out, even him as an athlete making his legacy and just making, at the end of the day, you said it's a business. So, Jess, even though it's a business and you want to win even though it's football, professional football, and you want to win a ring, at the end of the day, Jess, these men are like you and me. We punch in, we make our checks, and you know what? They also got to make their money too to support their families. Would you agree?
No, I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree. Yep.
So I'm with that. So, okay, Jess, so let's go ahead and get on into the rest of the free agency here. So, overthecap.com has been my place the whole to talk about free agency from 8 divisions in 8 days, and it has been awesome. So, take a look here at some of the biggest everything, the transactions, if you will. Joe Staley calling it a career. Man, that sucks. I think, the guy's a freaking beast, but yeah. What did you think about that?
I love Joe Staley. He'll always have a special place with the organization as well as the faithful. And, it sucked that we couldn't win a ring for him. But it is what it is. But Joe's been great. I love him, Mike McGlinchey. They're awesome. Great human beings.
Absolutely. And Staley, yeah, he will definitely be remembered forever as one of the best linemen, I believe, of this era. The guy was a freaking beast, and I know it sucked because at one side there's all this happiness going on, setting people off into the sunset. But what about the other side? It's like when the confetti falls, Jess, it's like, that's it. Some of those guys they know. It's like, I gave everything this last year. I've been in for 10, 12, 15 years and 16 years, however long you played. And when you know it's that time, it's that time. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's it. 60 minutes ago in football time, I had a chance to play for the ultimate glory in all of football. And the time has ended, and we're not on the winning side of this thing. But at the end of the day, I don't think he'd take back anything. Because the guy had a great career. He's one of the greatest there will ever be, I believe, at that position. And I think no matter what, as you said, he'll live forever with the Niner faithful.
Yeah, he's one of the best left tackles to play the game. And I know he tried to, come back this year, but sometimes your body tells you something differently. And if you ever played sports, you definitely know that. Yeah. But, again, I wish him all the best. And I'm sure he'll be a regular around the facility, when things kind of get back to normal, so to speak. But, love Joe Staley.
I agree. And hey, guy's a monster. And I think he's one of the best there could be, ever be. So, I respect him, and we bid him adieu. He's absolutely one of the greatest there ever will be. And I'm just so glad that he was able to wear those colors one more time with you guys and go out there and play. So, I don't want to call it the answer. It is the same exact position, but once again, every player is different. But I'm just saying, if there was somebody out there that could help fill in those shoes, there is somebody that certainly can fill in at least a decent size of those pretty big shoes of Joe Staley. Trent Williams coming over from the Washington football team. Jess, what about this?
That was absolutely huge. We had Joe Staley protecting Jimmy's blind side, and now, we just switch right over to another awesome athlete in Trent Williams. And I just, I was so like excited when we signed him because, you know, you want to protect your quarterback's blind side, and he's, you know, just like Joe Staley was the best person to do it. You know, Trent Williams coming in, and another great person to do the same thing.
Absolutely, and he protected his blind side. Jimmy G is one of the most breakout players I think we've ever seen, at least in my lifetime for dang sure, that I've ever seen. And now you get, you know, he loses one of the greatest linemen to ever play the game. Well, you bring in another, in my opinion, one of the greats of at least this era for dang sure. Say what you will about the guy, but Trent Williams is a freaking monster, and he's definitely a big pickup there. So great job there with the Niners organization. Then it's like, we're going slow, I know, through free agency, but there's just so many stories connected with these things, Jets. Next up, we have Emmanuel Sanders, a guy who was just a big part of this team, this offense last year. And, well, he's on his way over to New Orleans. I mean, what about that, Jess?
Well, you know what? It definitely sucked because that veteran presence in the wide receiver room, like, I believe that really helped KB and Debo. But you know what? Like, again, it's a business. It is what it is. But I think going forward, like, KB, it looks like he put in the work this offseason. And, you know, just having Debo will hopefully be back by Sunday. And, you know, we'll see what happens. But I think we have a really good group, and I think they learned a lot from Emmanuel Sanders. And it could only go up from here.
Absolutely. You guys have a great receiving core, and man, that got young. I'm telling you, last year seeing Debo Samuel do what he did, I mean, I have no doubt in my mind he's going to be running. He'll be running a lot in this offense, literally running too, because he put him at running back last year in a couple different places. He carries the jet sweep. I mean, the guy is a freak of nature athlete and awesome. I didn't even know him in college. I didn't even see him at South Carolina, but I did see him in the Senior Bowl, and he's just burning guys. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. He's going to do great in the league, and wouldn't you know it, he does great in the league. And now it's like you guys are just looking better, like, you know, like he's looking better. You guys are looking like, you know, you got some moving pieces and everything, and it looks like he's going to be the guy that moves around to be in talks for that number one position for the one. So I think he's definitely a freaking beast, and I'm glad you guys have him. So, okay, now we can fast forward a little bit here and just get to some more of these. But we have Jordan Reed heading on over to the Niners from the Washington football team. That was pretty darn big as well. You guys got another tight end there. Of course, we don't have to go very far. We're talking about good tight ends, of course, George Kittle. But we have here Jerick McKinnon resigns. Marquise Goodwin, another one of those receivers, heading on out. He's going to Philadelphia. We talked about DeForest Buckner already, going over to the Colts. Jimmy Ward, so your safety, will stay. Travis Benjamin, a pretty good, in my opinion, receiver. Pretty good receiver coming over for the Chargers to play with Jimmy G there. Good stuff there. You guys will re-sign Jason Verrett, also a former Charger there. Let's see here. Eric Armstead, a big monster there in the middle, if you will, playing in the interior of the defensive line. He is staying. You guys will bring on over Tavon Austin, which is freaking huge in my opinion, from the Cowboys. Tom Compton, right guard, will come over from the Jets. You guys have Kerry, I always butcher his name. I don't know if it's Hyder, Hader. I don't know how you pronounce his name, but and I've said it before, and then somebody actually said it for me. I was like, oh, I feel dumb. But yeah, but he's coming on over from the Cowboys. So it's like a lot has happened. Levine Toilolo, unfortunately, though, your tight end will head on over to the Giants. You have Sean Coleman at left tackle. Let's see, DeMontre Moore going to the Seahawks, staying in the division, but going to a rival team there. Sheldon Day actually is heading on over to the Colts, too, to play with his buddy DeForest Buckner. So it's like crazy. DJ Reed, safety, goes to the Seahawks. George Kittle resigns. Ronald Blair, he's another big freaking defensive lineman. He resigns. Elijah Lee, linebacker, is over to the Dolphins. I mean, my gosh, where do we go from here? I mean, so much. Jeff Wilson staying a Niner. We have Matt Breida going to the Dolphins. Kendrick Bourne, a wide receiver, stays. Nick Mullins, he stays. Ross Dwell, tight end, he stays. And for those who don't know, Nick Mullen, the guy is absolutely somebody that, Lord, please don't want anything bad happen to Jimmy G, and guess I don't want anything bad to happen to nobody, but he stepped in before and showed how damn good he was. That guy's amazing, coming over out of Hoover High School, out of Alabama. For those of you who remember Two-A-Days back on MTV back in the day, yeah, that's a real high school, and they really do produce really good players. So, and Nick Mullins is definitely a product of that. So, Emmanuel Mosley, corner, he will stay, and also Daniel Brunskill will stay as well at right guard. So, I literally went through almost every free agency picked up there, but Jess, with all that said, who do you think are the biggest pickups, the biggest departures, and the biggest re-signings of the offseason?
You know what? Like I mentioned before, probably the biggest departure was DeForest Buckner. And again, it's going to take a collective effort from the defensive line. But I believe we can do that. You know, we drafted Javon Kinlaw, who has looked sharp in camp. You know, Jordan Reed at the tight end position. I know we have my man, George Kittle. Glad we extended him, and he's going to be a Niner for a long time. But if Jordan Reed can stay healthy, that's going to be, you know, a great duo. You know, and just the running backs, I'm glad to have, you know, Jet McKinnon is healthy. He finished his camp. Trent Taylor's back. You know, he was a huge, you know, third down blanket for Jimmy G, if you will. You know, and I think our offense is going to be, you know, pumping this year. It's unfortunate, you know, Jalen Hurd went down with the ACL. But you know what? Like the Niners, we have that next man up mentality, and everyone bought into, you know, Kyle Shanahan's system, and, you know, even Robert Saleh on the defensive side. And like I said, we are ready to go. And you know, people talk about the Super Bowl hangover and everything else, and I don't see it in this team. I really don't.
I don't see it either. You guys are good. So courtesy here. I guess I'm down to the truth. This team could possibly go back this year. We could have either another Chiefs Niners or Niners and somebody, but it's going to be hard to change my mind about the Niners not going back to the bowl, because I don't care. I mean, honestly, Jess, you already know I'm a Raider fan. We've had the Battle of the Bay many, many, many years. We're not there no more. But regardless, Niners, you know, why wouldn't they are? They're far from my favorite team. But I don't give a crap. I'm a football guy, and I know football. And this team is a very good football team. I mean, they are such a good football team. And I'm not going to sit here and say anything like, oh, yeah, whatever. I mean, not that I'm never had like a bad thing against the Niners anyway. I mean, besides people I used to know that were fans back in the day that I was like, yeah, like it's rivals. But when it comes down to it, I don't like strongly dislike anybody unless they're in my division. And even then, it's like, you know, I still give credit's due. So you guys are a strong team. So let's take a look here at the draft, courtesy here of sportingnews.com. We have here 49ers. All right, draft 2020 or draft pick 2020. Who does San Francisco pick? Well, we will go ahead and get on into it. We only have 4 draft picks, y'all. 4 draft picks, but that's all they needed. We have here in the first round, of course, as you mentioned, Javon Kinlaw, defensive tackle out of South Carolina. Well, let's just say that you guys have had some good things going on with a young man out of South Carolina. In the last year, we already mentioned him, Deebo Samuel. And, well, now you bring over his big buddy, big monstrous defensive lineman, defensive tackle out of South Carolina, once again, Javon Kinlaw. You already mentioned him being great in camp. Then we have here, also in the first round, if you have 2 first-round picks, you don't need the rest, really. I mean, the Niners proved it. They have a few in the later rounds. But Brandon Ayuk, I don't know butcher his name there, but wide receiver out of Arizona State. Really good. I didn't see him much this year at all. Last year in college, I know usually I'm a Pac-12 guy, but I had a lot going on. But definitely some speed there to add another weapon. Of course, you guys had some key departures in that receiving core. So, and there you go. And then later round pickups, you had 6th round Charlie Warner out of, hopefully I didn't butcher his name there, but tight end out of Georgia. Very good team. So, I mean, Kirby Smart definitely makes some great athletes there, or helps create some great athletes, so good pickup there. And then Jamon Jennings, wide receiver out of Tennessee. Now, I'm not trying to say those youngsters are going to get in here and make it. I mean, they could. Tom Brady was a 6th round draft pick, but I'm just saying that no matter what, we don't know. Yay, nay, who knows? Whoever can make the team happen. Hopefully they'll make the team. I don't know. Hopefully they made the team. But regardless, these 4 guys came in this year from the offseason, the rookies, and well, here we go again with another process. So, Jess, go ahead. You already talked about Kinlaw a little bit if you want to go ahead and talk more about him. But any of these other 3 that you've heard anything about on social media or heard anything in, like from training camp on any of the coaching live streams or anything like that, like what are your thoughts on these guys? And, of course, who do you think can come in and make a gigantic impact?
Well, you know, I spoke about Javon Kinlaw, and then there's Brandon Ayuk, which I actually called the 2 of them to be drafted in the first round at our pick, so that was pretty cool for me. Cool sports moment. But Brandon Ayuk, he's had an awesome camp. I think he just had some hamstring tightness, so they kind of kept him out. But he's actually shown that he could be at camp like a good, security blanket for Jimmy G. And then Juwan Jennings, they did release him, but now he's back on the practice squad. And, I think given the opportunity, I think he'll make the most of it. But these draft picks, I think that we, hit a home run on them, this year. And even, the free agents that we brought in, and I think we'll do really well. I mean, that's why they call us the faithful. We got to have faith. And I have all the faith in the world in this team.
I'm not even a part of the faithful, Jess, but I have faith in this team too.
And you know what? And that says a lot coming from a Raiders fan, Larry. So
it's true. I mean, gosh dang it! Pick something that's weak. Go ahead. I'll wait. You know what I mean? Like pick a position that they're just not like pretty damn good at. Like I get it. The NFL is the NFL, but when you have a team with this much, and this is crazy because the talent's there, these guys are all there. You have a very good football team that's just so well put together, and this is just, I mean, really, this is a really, really good team. And I'm really, if you guys don't win a Super Bowl, which I really think you will, but if you don't, that's just a big disappointment because this team is so gosh damn good. So, by the way, Jay Ron in the chat room, sorry man, I missed your outro a little bit ago. He says, "Oh, y'all be good. Thanks for the shout outs, Larry. Hear you again. Hey, glad to have you, man. I know you're probably no longer listening. That was 27 minutes ago, according to the chat room. But he was a gigantic Niner fan all the way from Canada, Jess, and he was repping and talking during the other interviews earlier. So that was pretty cool, and nothing disrespectful. He was being real cool, but bummed that he couldn't be here for the Niners. But Terry Rodriguez just jumps on in right now and says, "I've got high hopes for the 49ers. It's going to be between the 49ers and Seahawks in the NFC West, and the division will be decided by the Saints and 49ers." Look at that. How you like that, Jess?
Yeah, you know what? I think this is going to be another one. The NFC is just so talented with all the teams, the Saints, the She-Hawks, which I'll call them. But, it's going to come down to last minute. But, I just, maybe because I'm biased, I don't know. But I think the Niners, they have this. The Seahawks defense this year, Jimmy's going to have a lot of time in the pocket this year. Let's just say that against the Seahawks.
I'm sorry, where's that laugh button at? I'm sorry, that was comedy. By the way, my boy Josh is over there listening, man. I know he's at work right now. I don't know where he's working at today, but man, he says, "I feel like the 49ers must be a sponsor of the show." Very funny, man. He sent little laughing faces, and I sent him right back little laughing faces emojis. But dude, I mean, yeah, I know, man, but I can't help it, man. I know it may seem like I'm sitting here blowing up the Niners and this and that, but I'm telling you, when you see a good football team, you just can't help it. I mean, I don't care who they are. They could be the Chiefs right now. I can't stand the Chiefs. I'm a Raider fan, but they're a damn good team. I picked up Patrick Mahomes yesterday on my team. I don't care, on my fantasy team. I mean, the guy is amazing. The team is amazing. Andy Reid is a great coach. I mean, I'm telling you, if we see a repeat this year, I honestly wouldn't be very surprised if it was Chiefs and Niners again. I mean, the outcome may be different. It may be the same. I don't know what it's going to be, but these two teams are that damn good. They are that good. Those are two very, very well put together football teams, and I am so excited to see these guys, both these teams, pick up their arms and go at it. Pick up their armor, put it on, go up an arm, or pick up their arms and go at it and go crazy. So, I'm excited for it, y'all. So with that said, let's go ahead and get on now into the season, Jess. Got a little bit longer here. Let's talk about going into the season and your thoughts on your Niners. So you've already said it, a couple times already, but however you want to do it, quick and dirty, what do you think? Those Niners this year, what do you think we got?
It's we definitely have a target on our backs this year. Not everyone was counting us in last year, and now this year, they know what we're about. So yeah, it is going to be harder to get back there, but any great team, goes through the adversity and gets back there. And I truly believe that we get back there, and this time, we win it. Like I said, we're hungry. We don't believe in the Super Bowl hangover, and we're ready to go. And I think that the 49ers faithful as well. Shout out to you guys. Best fan base ever. And, we're ready to go. We're ready for the Cardinals, on Sunday. And, let's start this thing.
Let's start this thing. I'm excited for y'all. And yeah, Terrence is here. I don't buy in the Bucks hype. He says here the Chiefs are going to be the new Golden State Warriors, aka Dub Nation. He says, except more annoying. So that's pretty funny. But all right, well, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Miss Jess, thank you so much for being here today. But we're not done yet. We got one more little segment here, and this is always fun. I believe you were a part of this last year, right? 8 Division 8 days, right, Jess?
I'm not sure if I was. I don't think so.
Okay, well, maybe you weren't. Because, darn it, I want to say you were. But, oh, boy. If you weren't, then you're going to have fun. It may be short and sweet, because that's usually how Jess does it. Short and sweet and funny, actually. But it may not be. I don't know. But, Jess, this is your chance. Not that you don't have a chance any other time, I'm saying. But this is your chance here on this segment, on this particular show, to go at it. And there are 3 other teams that you just don't like in this division. That's just all there is to it. We know that. You know that. I know that. They know that. Everyone knows that. Okay, and then they don't like you either. You know what I mean? It's all there is to it. At the end of the day, football is family. Football brings us all together. But of course, the rivalries are just the rivalries. You can be respectful, but at the end of the day, during those 3 hours, you're playing each other, not friends, and more than likely. And then, during the season, maybe not either. But regardless, ladies and gentlemen, this is always a fun one. This is your chance to stick it to them, Jess. So, you can talk about how you think the other 3 teams are going to do in this division this year, and have fun. You can be respectful, you can be mean, however you want to do it. Jess, without further ado, stick it to them.
All right, well, we got the She-Hawks. I kind of feel sorry for them. Like I said earlier, Jimmy G is going to have a lot of time in the pocket this season. They don't have a defensive line, and that's it. And, Russell Wilson, Rosie Wilson, as I love to call him, forget it. Enough said about that. The Lambs, they're still on their Super Bowl hangover from 2-3 years ago. They're not going to do much this year. And then, the lovely Retardinals, we got the Squirrel as their quarterback. You know what? 49ers ready to roll. Let's friggin' go. Go Niners.
Ladies and gentlemen, sound the thunder, ring the bell, sound the applause, blow the whistle, take a picture even. I don't even know what this button does. I don't care. Like, seriously, that was Jess just getting down. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Miss Jess again. Jess, it has been awesome always having you on the show. It always is. And I thank you so much for being a part of this. Gosh, dang it. I love it. It is so much fun. Let's keep this thing going. And I look forward to having you on this show for many, many years to come. And just so you know, this year, we're actually going to start counting. I said it last year and we didn't do it. This year, we're actually going to start counting wins and losses in primetime face-offs.
Ooh, wow. I think I was undefeated last year.
Yeah, well, right? I'd love to count those. I just forgot how many there were in the whole bit. But, yeah, you definitely got down. So you're going to go in history for that for sure. We're going to start counting those. So with that said, let's do the dang thing, and that will be that. So, Jess, where can all these diehard Niner fans find you on Twitter?
On Twitter, I'm at JM41484.
There you go. Please, Niner faithful, go give her a follow if you haven't already. Terrence says Larry's out here pressing buttons like DD in Dexter's Laboratory. I didn't watch that very much when I was a kid, but regardless, pretty funny stuff there. I'm looking forward to a great season for your Niners. So here we go, Jess. Thank you so much once again for being a part of today's show. You're amazing. God bless you and your family, and I look forward to speaking with you very, very, very soon on a Primetime Face-Off coming up.
Larry, as always, I appreciate it. Everyone have a safe and healthy season, and go Niners.
Go Niners. All right. Thank you very much. And same thing. Please have a healthy, safe season. Hope you and your family stay safe. Once again, God bless you all, and hopefully you have a wonderful rest of your week and a great weekend. And I know you're getting ready for some Niner football. So take care, Ms. Jess. We'll talk to you soon.
You too, Larry. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye. All righty, y'all. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, lovely Ms. Jess. Oh, that was awesome. That woman brings fire with her. She's awesome. She loves your team. That's what it's all about, y'all. Oh, that was awesome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for what's to come. And need a boom shakalaka button. My boy Josh over here texted me. I would love that. Boom shakalaka. That'd be hilarious. I just don't want to get copyright for that. But that would be legit. I would love that. I'm not going to find some more buttons, some more sound effects. I got to find some royalty-free ones. But with that said, y'all, that was a lot of fun. All right, y'all. You know the deal. first things first, I just want to thank all the guests today. That was awesome, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Palayo, Miss Angela Winstead, Mr. Demond Geist, and Miss Jess. Thank you to all of them. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of great stuff to talk about today, and I'm just very happy that all of our that we were able to get through all of our guests today, and everything was great. And really, thank you all to everybody who was a part of this and everybody who listened today. That was a lot of fun, so definitely enjoyed that. Well, you know the drill. Now it is time for me to take my, I guess you can say, kind of lengthy-ish break, and Terrence says we need a Kawhi button, a Kawhi Leonard laugh button. To this day, I'm not. You know what? I'm not a media person. I haven't even seen it. I know when I'm in the media, right? But I haven't even. I know. At one time, Phil did an impression of that. One time, on a drop, and I was like, I thought he was making fun of him, so I had to edit it out. But yeah, overall, that'll be pretty funny, right? We need some new buttons in here. But I'm really excited, guys, for what we got going on here and what's to come. And overall, we're going to have ourselves a ball coming up for the rest of the week. Tomorrow, by the way, let's go ahead and just keep it going. We do have here the NFC East tomorrow, followed by the NFC South on Wednesday, going right into kickoff on Thursday with the NFC North. And then what's it? Later on that day will be kickoff. We got the Chiefs going on, taking on the Houston Texans. Just had to read a clip there from, a clip. Had to read a little bit from Taryn. He says in the chat room, I will send the Kawhi laugh clip. Dude, do you already have it on yours? Because I don't want to copy you, but that's hilarious. That's funny. I just want to hear it. That's pretty funny. But that was fun, and thank you to Jess over here. Tweet already says that was awesome as always on the tweet, so really appreciate it. She quote tweeted that, so thank you to everybody once again for today's show. That was a lot of fun, and certainly enjoyed doing this. We have now gotten through 20 teams in the NFL this year, and well, we have just 12 more to get through. We have tomorrow, the day after, and the day after, and it's going to be exciting. We got some really cool fans coming up here. Haven't filled all the spots just yet, but of course, you know me, I'll be working behind the scenes, doing my best to fill everything. But yeah, tomorrow, like I said, we got the NFC East, talking Cowboys, Giants. We recorded our interview yesterday with Mr. Keith Zhang. That was pretty cool talking with him yesterday. Great guy. So we'll be talking Giants. We'll be talking. I got a live guest from another newcomer for the Philadelphia Eagles. We will then be talking as well some Washington football, as well as some Dallas Cowboys. Sorry, I don't know why I drew a blank there. Brain fart. But good stuff there coming up on Wednesday. Let's see if we already got everybody filled up for the South. Oh, I know Kylan Reynolds will be joining us. We're talking some Saints football. Mr. John, I think we'll be bringing him on as well. Mr. John Felipe talking some Carolina Panthers. We'll have Jelani J.B. Bodie, I believe. Hopefully we will. I don't know. But bringing him on, talk some Falcons football. And then, of course, we will have talking some Bucks, our very own Mr. Dentarius Locke. And then on Thursday, we're going to have some fun. We got our very own Adam Karnick joining us. I talk some Bears football. We have some Packers coming your way. Nobody's for them just yet, but once again, we've got plenty of Packers fans to ask. Let's see. We got here some Detroit football. AW will be joining us, of course, the host of the Mitten Sports Show here on iSports Radio. And then we will be bringing on in talking some... Where the heck are we at? Oh, yeah, in the north. I'm everywhere, guys. My bad. Some Vikings football. I don't know. I could see if Caitlin's around or whoever we can bring on in and talk some Vikings football, but we shall see. So, coming up, we got a lot going on this week and should be a lot of fun. So, with that said, y'all know the drill. I'm going to take my lengthy break at the moment. Give me some water and do my thing. And when we get back, I will give you my final weigh-in on the NFC West. I don't think there's any surprises here of who I'm going to be taking to win the dang thing. But you'll hear at least what I got to say about the rest of the divisions. So, with that said, you are listening to 3 and out. 8 divisions in 8 days. Day number 5. NFC West kicking off NFC Week right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
What's up, everybody? This is Taryn Rodriguez. Are you a fan of volleyball? Are you a fan of Thunder Spikes? Then I have the show for you, Set Point, where I cover NCAA men's and women's volleyball, high school boys and girls volleyball, beach volleyball, and even professional volleyball. Catch the action every week here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
What's good, fight fans? It's your boy, Marcus Los Great, here to give you what you want, here to give you what you need. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm coming to you live, straight from your mama's basement with a crispy white tea. They're coming to you live every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Man here to tell you about the newest IE Sports Radio show, the Kansas City Shuffle. We'll be talking football, reigning Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs, baseball, your 2015 World Series Royals, college hoops, college football, and much to Ryan's delight, hockey.
Oh, wow.
Make sure you catch up with us on Twitter at KC Shuffle Show. You can also catch up with my colleague Ryan the Pezquire at the Pezquire Fool
on Twitter.
Make sure you check us out on IE Sports Radio at 6 p.m. Central Time to 7:30.
Oh, yeah.
And Ryan, any final words for the listeners?
Yeah, come on in, enjoy the winning we've been having here in Kansas City lately, and don't be jealous. Bye-bye.
IE Sports Radio,
your direct feed for all things sports. Nope, that's not it. Cut that.
Hey sports fans, do you like wine? Well, we've got the show for you. This is Let's Wine About Sports, a show where we talk about wine and sports simultaneously. From the classic Cabernet Sauvignon all the way down to the grapes that you've never even heard of before. Oh yeah, we cover it all. And we'll talk about a little bit of sports as well. Football, hockey, collegiate, women's sports, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about it all, and we're going to whine about it all. So join me Monday at 8 p.m. on IU Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome in to the Neutral Zone. I'm your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and you're listening to IE Sports Radio. If you like big, nasty hits, if you like slap chop straight to the neck, if you like it when the gloves hit the ice and the big boys get down, then this is your show. On IE Sports Radio, this is the Neutral Zone. May our shots on goal always be true and straight to the net. If they are not, may they be followed up, redirected, or change collected. Let's go on IE Sports Radio with me, your host, Robert Kavanaugh, and this is the Neutral Zone.
Motorsports takes many forms, and there's one show on IE Sports Radio that's ready to cover it all.
I sure hope you're talking about you and I, Daryl, because I know the Extra Mile is the best place to go for everything motorsports related.
Yes, it is. From NASCAR to IndyCar to sports cars to everything in between, IE Sports Radio has everything covered for the fastest sport in the world.
Plus, don't forget all of our random shenanigans along the way.
That's right, Caitlin. So for plenty of motorsports coverage and plenty of Caitlinisms, check out the Extra Mile on IE Sports Radio with Daryl Kinsey Jr. and Caitlin Seen, Thursdays at 8 p.m.
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Motor City, Detroit, stand up. This is the Mitten Sports Podcast Show with AW covering Detroit Mitten Sports from your Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons. Also, Michigan State Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans. Listen to me every Sunday right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. What up, though, Detroit?
Hey USRN fans, do you have a product or company you're trying to promote? Look no further. USRN is teaming up with small local businesses trying to establish themselves via online promotion. Let us know if you're interested. Email us at usrnradio@gmail.com to learn more.
What's going on, football fans? This is me, your boy Larry B, inviting you to join myself, Colin Reynolds, Mike Pat, and John Felipe for one of the most electrifying football shows you have ever heard. 3 and Out, right here at IE Sports Radio. Recap of the week before, a preview of what's to come, and of course, 3 hardcore head-to-head primetime face-offs each week. You don't want to miss it.
You sure don't want to miss it. Every week, y'all, coming up starting next Wednesday. This week, we're rolling right into the season, of course. But we're going to have some fun. Like I said, getting into season number 1. I'm going to have a different little episode on Thursday as well. We're not getting a little early, but I want to definitely get our picks in for week 1 and everything. So make sure to pick along with me and get ready for all the good stuff. We're going to be doing double time on Wednesday night because I'm doing the show, of course, this show Wednesday, and then Wednesday evening we will get our regular 3 and Out show. It'll be a little bit shorter than usual, but it is going to be the primetime face-off, of course. And it's going to be pretty sweet. We're going to have our fun here. We have our first primetime face-off all set. Got to make sure we get our combatants all ready to rock and roll. But it's going to be a lot of fun, y'all. We're going to get things going on and just get everything rolling back here. So with that said, hopefully you enjoyed all those awesome drops, all of the awesome people involved here at IE Sports Radio. Great people. I am blessed with the most amazing colleagues, and I am just so excited to get things going and keep things going on. So once again, y'all, make sure Wednesday, set your calendars. 3 and Out will return right here on IE Sports Radio. We're going to double dip before. This is the first time we've ever done this where we double dip into the week. Where we don't double dip, but where we get into the actual show before we finish 8 divisions in 8 days. I hope that never happen again. But I just figured, we'll just end it on the day we do it. But then I forgot. I just realized, oh great. Well, wait, what are we gonna do for the primetime face-off and everything this week? So all of them. So we'll be having all those coming up this week. And be ready, y'all. Wednesday evening, let's do it. With that said, y'all, I think it's time for that final weigh-in. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's do this! Here we go, y'all! This is going to be short and sweet because there are no surprises. I think I made it blatantly obvious that I am taking the Niners. I don't know why we're even doing this. I'm just kidding now. But overall, y'all, the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers are just a very good football team. I talk really fast, so I always mess up saying San Francisco, so I got to slow down a little bit. But this is a good football team. We know that this team is going to be dominant. And if they don't win it, it'll be a surprise. Next up, I have the Seahawks. I got the Niners could be, my gosh, 12-4, 13-3, 14-2. Of course, I see them losing games. I don't know if they're going to go undefeated. Who knows, maybe. But this team is just too good. They can go anywhere from freaking 12-4 to 16-0. If they lose more than that, if they fall off, I don't know. But they're just a really talented football team, and they got a lot of talent coming back. Next up, I have the Seahawks going anywhere from 11-5, 10-6. They're a good football team. They know what everybody else knows. They're going to give the Niners a run for their money. The only losses that the Niners get could be the Niners. They could go 1-1. I don't know. If they sweep them, that works too. I'm just saying, good football team. Overall, great stuff. This is a great football team as well, and these guys are going to show how dominant they are. They're going to really come together. I think they're going to do really good this year. Then we have this drop-off, and I hate to say it. I really do. But the Rams, they're just not there. They were a dominant team a few years ago, and I want to say the Rams are going to do better than this, but I have them going they could go 9-7, but I don't know. I got them going anywhere from 9-7, 8-8 to 7-9. I know it sucks even putting them beneath 500, but they're just in that range, and I don't think they're going to be, too much of a force that is this season. But they're on their way. The Cardinals are on their way as well, and I'm so bummed I even have to give them the record I want to give them, but they can go anywhere from 5-11 to 8-8. because they could be a breakout surprise team. I don't see them going past 8-8 or really 7-9. If they were to get 9-7, that'd be incredible for them. But I just don't see them going any further than that. And overall, y'all, I think that we're gonna see a Cardinals team who is rejuvenated, but they definitely do have some more work to do. So once again, anywhere from 5-11 to 8-8. That's broad. So we'll see where they go. Other than that, y'all, that is gonna be that for today's show. It has been awesome. Awesome people. I'm so blessed. Y'all have my amazing girlfriend. I love you, baby. We have an amazing group of people here, a part of IE Sports Radio. You guys are awesome. We have an amazing fan base. We have amazing people all around us. And I'm just so glad, y'all. I'm so glad that we have the awesome people that we do. So, we're going to keep the ball rolling here tomorrow, as you already heard. NFC East Day coming your way tomorrow. Let's get it. I'll see you then. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.